studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, San Antonio. It is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman, joined, as always, for the last, this is 6 consecutive shows, I've been joined by Mr. Rob Thompson. Hello, Rob.
Show sace. Good morning, AJ.
What a lovely weekend it was. The streak continued that I have not gone a day since living back in Texas that it has not rained. There's some people who say, we need it.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, are we good for now?
Dude, you're coming from the desert. It'll feel very much at home soon enough.
Okay.
It's coming.
Yeah. I've been washing my car a bunch.
Yeah, that sucks. You're going to have to get used to that, man. You're just going to, this is going to be a hard thing to get used to as you get a clean car. In July, you'll get a nice clean car for a minute.
It's very humid. Like I like being a guy who grew up in the Houston area, and I always remember when I was in Austin that I was like, oh, there's not as much humidity here. This is nice. And I've always assumed Austin and San Antonio are very similar climate wise. But
this is weird. This is abnormal. It'll dry out.
All right. Well, I'm ready for that.
But it's been pretty awful, man. It has been awful.
And there's a lot of flies. As we learned at the Thompson estate the other day,
you went marksman. You got to
play with the toy. What is it? A bug assault?
The assault? Bug assault.
Yeah. I took some out.
Man, you're now
I was trying to let them all know, hey,
ace.
You come around here, tell your friends.
Tell your friends. We nailed little wings onto the side of the chair.
I had a lovely time out there. Ate some delicious barbecue. You worked the meat very well.
I'm fine with
this
meat.
Weekend.
Yes.
I didn't see any of the presentation.
No, there wasn't. There wasn't much to be seen, I don't think.
Your father invited me to come in and watch, and he said, "Are you going to stay and watch some of the presentations?" I said, I don't know. I don't know what the plan is. And when I said that was me trying to be nice, because I definitely did not want to see.
No, you notice none of the kids were in there either.
Right.
For those that are unaware, my father is a professor at UTSA and hosts his grad students out for a graduation presentation. They're all getting A's anyway, and barbecue every year. And he invites people who don't care at all about
that was
green
me.
Things.
That was me, I think.
And but it was you were very, very conscientious in declining it. We just don't even walk in the room. You notice myself and everybody else in the family didn't even come close to that. We'd been rejected before.
Out and drank beer and ate fine meats and just had a lovely time.
It was a fine sit around early summer evening. Many more to come, by the way.
I've now introduced Rob to barrel-aged stouts.
Yes, my goodness. That's on my list of things to talk about today. There are very few things in my life where I go, never had that before.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I've ever had anything like that.
Yeah, I went in to get that beer out of the cooler because I was like, I want to show you this beer. A local brewery here called Weathered Souls.
Mm-hmm.
My buddy is the head brewer and owner there, and he made a new beer. He's one of the better stout brewers in the whole world, and had a new beer release that day. And I went and picked some up. I said, "Oh, we should try this."
We did. It was a ridiculously unique experience.
Well, when I went in to get it out of the ice chest, I was like, "Oh, it's gone." And there were all these college students here, and they're drinking Modelo and Dos Equis, and I'm like, oh, if one of them picked that up and just starts drinking it, they're going to be in for a real surprise, because this was I think it was a 15.3% ABV or something like that. Like it was a hammer. But no, it was on the kitchen table, and all your family was looking at the can, like, what is this?
Uh-huh.
I was like, oh yeah, that's mine. I brought them. They're like, well, we got to see this thing. And I poured some for your son and your sister, and they were your niece. Your dad said, "Oh, I think I'm going to sit this one out."
Yeah, he's an old bull. He's been down that road before.
He liked the idea of it, but it was I got work to do.
I've never tasted a beer that tasted like that. It was viscous. I've never had. It was boiled down to a ridiculous
It's got that mouth
viscosity.
Feel. It's got the Hershey syrup mouth feel.
A very, very good beer. It is a sipping beer.
Oh, yes.
Sure. It is not.
Yeah, you can't shotgun these. I mean, you could because they're not heavily carbonated, but you would regret it eventually. You would regret
But
it.
I could see if you drank, that is a loaf of bread. I mean, it is a heavy, heavy alcohol. I can see when you say you have one of those a night and it's filling. I get it, man. It's like drinking 30 weight.
Yeah. Goldfinger asked if you gave me a flight by Yuengling. Rob didn't, but they had them at the at Tri-County Meat Market, and I tried one there. I'd never had a flight by Yuengling before.
We just drank. We had regular Yuengling. We didn't have the flight.
Right. We had a smorgasbord of beer out.
Yeah. Well, what I brought was Yuengling. My dad brought the Modelo because that's what he drinks, and the Dos Equis, and I think we had some other beer in there too. But yeah, it was a icy cold, delicious evening, and topped off by a fine beer that I've never had before.
And Pumbaa says, thanks for the Derrick Lewis pick. I was a little worried about that one, actually. Derrick was in a fight.
He got close.
But eventually he landed that giant right hand on his head and had one of the all-time celebrations.
Yeah, he made SportsCenter.
Yeah. And my favorite thing was he said, I couldn't let that taxi driver beat me. Some taxi driver from Brazil. He said, I never heard of that guy till tonight.
We had some comeuppance to the Brazilians.
That's right. So my boy Derrick gets the job done. We've got a fun show for you today, and we've got something new we're doing. I got news for you guys. If you like winning stuff, this is a good – we got a 2-week run for you where we're going to make some winners off of the Morning Huddle. So here's the deal. I've been given some wristbands for ACL.
Oh, okay. I just thought.
So we've got 3-day wristbands for ACL, and it's week 2 of ACL, the second weekend, which is October 11th, 12th, and 13th. So what you're going to do if you want to win, I mean, if you don't want to win, okay, whatever. That's fine too. You don't have to try. You listen at 7:30, 8:30, 9:30 every day. We call that in the business, we call that the bottom of the hour. 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. And I don't know what it's going to be every day. It might be different every day. But there's going to be either some sort of trivia or name that tune or
real band or not.
Yes, there's going to be something. And if you are the first person to win whatever game I throw out there, you are going to be qualified. So basically the way it works is you get qualified to win a pair of these tickets. So we're going to have, looks like 15 a week from our show. And at the end of the week, we're going to draw someone randomly of those 15. They are going to get the 2-day, the weekend 2 wristbands. And Blitz is going to do this. Blitz, I'm just telling you now, listening to this show, you're going to have a better chance. Your odds are 1 in 15. On that show, they're 1 in 20.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you like that we care about you more, but we do. We care about you more than the guys on the Blitz care about you. So we're going to try and get you to win. We're going to try to get you to ACL. And if you don't win, you can always buy your wristbands at aclfest.com. Check out the lineup there. But I'm warning you ahead. At 7:30, you may want to have some idea of the lineup because I might ask you a lyric or a song title. And if you know it, guess where you're going? Well, you got a 1 in 15 chance of going. So
you're a fan of Grand Funk Railroad? They're coming.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down with the GFR.
That I didn't think they were still alive. What about the Chief Cleopatra? Are you a fan of them?
No, actually, I'm really against that band.
How about Lucy Kalantari and the Jazz Cats?
Yes.
You good on them?
Like that. Yeah. You know what? I got
What about Mannequin? I can't even. Am I allowed to say that?
I don't know.
Mannequin Cat?
What about Hermanos Gutierrez?
They make a fine salsa.
What about polka. Chris Stapleton? What about Blink 182? What about Sturgill Simpson? What about Dua Lipa? What about Tyler, the Creator? What about Nora Jones? She'll be there.
Khruangbin is a headliner. They're headlining.
I know Khruangbin.
No wonder we know so much about Khruangbin.
I know Khruangbin now, and Leon Bridges, Pretty Lights. So tons of music. up there in Austin at Zilker Park, and we are going to send a couple of our fine listeners there to represent San Antonio's Sports Star. There will be some of these times where I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull a winner from the YouTube. So don't worry,
our brigade
YouTube
bar types.
You guys are going to be involved as well. We're going to spread the love is what we're going to do, and we're going to make sure everybody's a winner. Well, not everybody, but
listening,
we're going to make sure everybody's got a chance to be a winner, because I only have so many of these things to give away. But somebody's going to win them. I'm not going. Like I said, what about for really what I said was what about wristbands for the talent? And they said, what does that mean? And I was like, well, the guy said
define talent.
Yeah, and they basically let me know. What they did was they gave me some Planet of the Apes promo codes.
I'm surprised codes. You didn't use those.
I haven't yet. I'm going to.
Yesterday would be the day.
I went and ate barbecue instead. I'm a mover and a shaker. It's hard for me to sit still, Rob. So I had to get out and see some of Central Texas.
There's medication for that.
I hear. Illegal in this state. It wasn't in Nevada, but here we are.
There's a variety of medical ways to calm you down.
That's what I hear. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to discuss the NBA's draft lottery and the results. San Antonio Spurs, it was kind of an unknown how many picks we were going to see them walk away with, and the answer is in. We will discuss if that's a good thing, if it's a bad thing, what are the options for the Spurs from a pick standpoint, or from let's just say a not pick, to pick or not to pick. That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the... No, we'll figure that out a different time. All right. So like I said, we'll talk that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you missed the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you missed this.
Indianapolis Star. Do you remember Greg Doyle?
Yeah, the creepy guy.
For those that don't remember.
Hi, Caitlin. Greg Doyle, Indy Star. Real quick, I'm going to do this.
You like that?
I like that you're here. That you're here.
I do that at my family after every game, so.
Start doing it to me and we'll get along just fine.
According to longtime Indianapolis reporter Bob Kravitz, the Indy Star suspended Greg Doyle after that weird press conference.
I don't blame them. It went viral, as the kids say. So, everybody, it's like, dude, this guy's a creeper. Keep him away from Caitlin Clark.
Yes.
I like that you're here.
They're just that weird.
Just all of it. Oh, that was creepy.
I like that you're here.
You okay?
I'm great.
Are you sure?
Fine.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Fudger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
Feel that heat? That's how it should feel when you're outdoors watching your favorite team coming up to bat, not in your home. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy-efficient windows.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people?
Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie.
Don't they do that in the studio?
Oh, normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Texas weather this time of year means storms, wind, rain, and hail. You know, if you were hit with the recent storms and you think you have roof damage, don't make the situation worse by putting your faith in one of those out-of-town storm chasers. Work with a local roofing company with years of experience. Work with a company whose people live in our area and deal with the same weather we do. That's Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Or you can get them online at stevensroofing.net. Buy local, stay local, trust local with Stevens Roofing.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. And I'm telling you, I can feel the difference. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by doctors. Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. For instance, I was sent Relief Factor to try, and I've been taking it every single day. I'll tell you what, I feel the difference every day. Go to relieffactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Play ball! Missions Baseball returns Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. Join us for AARP $2 Tuesday presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Gates open at 5, first pitch at 6:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyer4us.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyer4us.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyer4us.com.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Yeah.
I just feel like Rocky's running down the beach right now.
All right. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. The San Antonio Spurs found out their fate yesterday. And
did they?
Well, they found out how much draft capital they have this year.
There
Rob.
we go. There it is.
The word draft cap. The words.
I hate that.
Draft capital. And it's funny because it was a mixed bag in the Sports Star group chat on how we felt about these picks. And I say we, like I had any say in it. I was just kind of like watching everybody else say their thing and nodding my head along. I don't, you know me, I don't like to make waves. I'm the new guy, so I'm just kind of whatever you guys think, man. I'm like, I'm here for it.
It sounds good. 2 first-round picks, 2 in the top 8. That's, I mean, most teams would, and we, you can't be wrong on your opinion on this today because both sides of the fence feel pretty good.
There's good and bad people on both sides. Listen, this is Minix was like, this is the best case scenario for the Spurs, and I was like, well, I mean. If they draft both these guys, and this is why it matters. So the Spurs have the 4th pick and the 8th pick in the draft. If the Spurs use both of these selections, if they keep them and draft players, it seriously limits their ability to make a splash in free agency. Now, could they still cut some salary from the current roster and make something happen? Sure. But it hinders you, certainly. Now, the great thing is you have a pick now that you can package and trade if you're looking to try and if you're trying to bring in someone who's not necessarily a free agent, if you want to bring in a player that a team is moving on from. Oddly enough, the team that has been mentioned as the Spurs, maybe their best possible trade partner, has been the Atlanta Hawks. They got the 1st pick in the draft. And sometimes when you get that, you change your mind about busting up what you've got in-house. Because if you're thinking, okay, we got to move on from these two, this backcourt isn't going to get the job done. But then you think, well, if we add in, this giant French kid who, we feed him a couple wings or burgers or whatever they're cooking up there in Atlanta, we feed him some of that stuff, put some weight on him. Maybe we've got something here. Maybe now they don't want to trade those guards. There's so many moving parts between now and draft day that it's hard to see what this looks like. I would love to see. I think, I don't know. I've gone back and forth on this, Rob, and I'm glad you said that you can't be wrong about it. But I would love to see, and we mentioned it last week, I like Donovan Clingan as a Spur. I like the idea of having you would have the best defensive front court in the NBA, bar none. You have 2 elite shot blockers. You'd have one who is like his only job is going to be protect the rim and then, basically dunk putbacks. Is like he's gonna be your kind of garbage man. He's gonna be your workhorse, and you pair him with Wemby, and I think it really puts San Antonio in a good position because the guy who's going to be out there defending Wemby on the wing more often than not is going to be about 6'7", 6'8", and there's going to be some real matchup edges for Wembanyama out there. If you have another big on the floor, if he's the biggest guy you're playing, it kind of changes those things. So I like that idea. And then obviously I like the idea of getting some sort of guard play. There are several guys in this draft, including Stephon Castle, Dalton Connect, Reed Shepherd, that I think have great skill sets. The problem with this draft is there's no complete players. There's no guys you look at and go, this guy does it all. This is the guy. And that happens sometimes. And it's the
worst draft in 20 years. Let's not talk our way through anything. This is the worst draft I've seen in my adult radio history. Literally, you could find, there's something in there. There's a piece of gold in there. It might not be till 11, 12, 13, 14. It might not even be in the lottery.
And that's the thing, because I remember what I thought was the worst draft ever was Anthony Bennett went 1-1 from UNLV, went to the Cavs. And then it was like Victor Oladipo and Otto Porter, Alex Lynn, Cody Zeller. It was like this disaster class. Michael Carter-Williams was the rookie of the year. That's how bad this draft class was.
And this class doesn't have that kind of upper end.
But what happened was, you look back at that draft now, and I'll give you some of the names that eventually emerged out of that draft. With the 27th pick, Rudy Gobert was taken. He ended up being pretty good. With the 10th pick, CJ McCollum was taken. Ended up being pretty good. The 12th pick, Steven Adams, ended up being pretty good.
There's gold there. But see, anything under 10?
The 15th pick, Giannis. So there was some gold, but in the top 10, literally, I think the best, CJ McCollum went 10. But in the top 8, Victor Oladipo was the best player that came out of that draft, which Victor Oladipo is a fine player. Don't get me wrong, but he's not the kind of guy you want to man, this is a guy I can really use as a building piece for my franchise.
So knowing that, how hot do you want the kettle next year? Do you want it steaming? Because it can be done. You can steam this thing up. We can turn up the heat. You can make a couple of deals. People love to have a couple of these. Maybe not this year's picks, but next year's. If the Spurs want to pick it up, they can. It's there if we choose to turn it up.
Well, let's get into that on the other side. Let's get into what turn it up could mean. I want to know what the likely scenario are. Let's just say they don't keep these 2 picks, or I think it's safe to assume they're going to keep one.
Yeah, one of them will stay. And now that's as to which one. Don't get sold on that number 4 pick being the one they keep. That is ours. That could be easily moved.
Well, and here's the thing, though. When you say that, remember, you can only trade your own pick in like every other year. So it's more likely they would move the 8 so they could package next year's pick with it. But they've got such a glut of picks. They've got options. And if moving the 4 this year makes the most sense and brings back, it'll bring back a bigger return, but does it get the job done that you're looking for? That is to be seen. So we'll talk about what Rob means by turn up the kettle. Do we really want this thing heated up? What could they do? What are the options? That and more on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the Spurs now know exactly what they have and what they need to do. So what are they going to do?
We know what we think they need to do, but what will they do? Those questions, now that the NBA draft lottery is behind us, we'll start asking them starting on the Blitz at 2 o'clock, plus the latest on the weekend from the NBA playoffs.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Pack the Dome this Sunday as puro San Antonio football returns to the Alamo Dome. The playoff push is on for the San Antonio Brahmas as they return home Sunday against the Arlington Renegades. Fun for the entire family. Experience the excitement. Buy your tickets now at theufl.com. Come watch Coach Wade Phillips lead the Brahmas against the Arlington Renegades this Sunday afternoon at 3 in the Alamo Dome. Get your tickets now at theufl.com. That's theufl.com. Vamos Brahmas!
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Strong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the party. This is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. My grip is always soft. It's our party vibe. She's crushing and things, so my chicks feel fast. So what? Every booty wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
The NFL is on. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I'm AJ Huffman. He's Rob Thompson. We're talking Spurs.
We've
talking about the
upgraded-
lottery.
We are. We've upgraded our generic music. Our generic music is far more. It's like we went from Black Label to Hill Country Fair. We've upped our level.
I think we could still do some
Oh,
improving.
we can still improve, but this is far better than the. Got a little jam to this.
All right. So last segment we were talking about the Spurs options with these picks, and we'll go over some of the picks that have been mocked to them a little bit later on in the show.
We mock it.
Well, we didn't mock it. I'm not a mock drafter.
I mock it.
Okay, I didn't, but I looked at a bunch of other ones, and the Athletic's not on here. I'll pull that one up too. But what would you say? What would you put the likelihood at that the Spurs use both of these picks?
Pretty high.
Oh, really?
You know, knowing their history and knowing what they've said, it would not shock me. I think it's probably more likely than not. And I wouldn't go more than about 60% because I do think because they have so many options in the future, it does give you a bit of a safety net. If a deal came along that you're like, well, you know, it's close. You might be able to make it knowing full well you will have another opportunity to do that. But like you just said, you can hamstring yourself if you trade the wrong pick.
Let me give a hot take here. This draft being bad, or like being perceived as bad, could mean that it's better to take these guys and hope that they turn into something than trade them before the pick exists.
The OKC model.
You know what I mean? Like, because let's just say you randomly take one of these picks and they turn into a KCP or someone like that like wasn't looked at as a sure thing coming out, but after you see him for a year or two, it's like, whoa, there's something here. Because right now, if you said that when you say the 8th pick in this draft, and you say, well, this is the most, top tier talent devoid draft in years and years and years, well, that doesn't sound appealing. So you're taking something that's got minimal value right now. Whereas if you make that pick and you show that the guy can turn into something, and you say in a year or two, okay, well, let's flip him for some like a real known commodity. Now something that had little value now has some moderate value, maybe even great value, who knows? But the downside would be if the guy can't play, it goes from having little value to no value. So there's not much of a drop off there. You know what I mean? So,
well, you said something as we were getting ready that is, I think, at the end of the day, the key. So the Spurs have two options here. They go like you're talking about. We don't know. There could very well be a Shea. There could very well be all those dudes you just talked about that went in that terrible draft that turned into respectable, if not superstars. But that was late. And if you don't know, then you could go and hope. You could plant the field and hope and water and hope everything sprouts and it's beautiful. Or you can go the other route, which is, okay, I don't know which is going to be good or great, but I do know what I need. And I need shooting, and I need rebounding and defensive presence. I need those two things, and I can add point guard out there, but I'm probably not looking for that in the draft. So I can either hope, or I can go look at the guys that are already doing at least that and hope I can add the other stuff to make them a complete pro. They do that one. I know I need some 3-point help. I know that.
That is the beauty of when there's not a given guy who can do it all. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so there's no uber prospect
here.
Get
what you need, baby.
Okay, let's say what are our big needs from a like you said, not positionally maybe, but like
we
just
need shooting
philosophically.
Who can shoot?
Here's what I know. Dalton Knecht can shoot. Reed Shepherd can shoot. You want to go to, you say defense.
Klingon can block a shot and rebound.
Donovan Klingon is going to own that area, basically the right around the rim. He is going to own that area. So you can get specialists in a draft where there's not a home run to be had, maybe.
Well, we have to throw specialist in there at point guard, too. And if you're thinking that, then we're looking at maybe a Euro. But I'm saying if you don't know, go with what you do know. And I do know that there are guys within this draft and where the Spurs are going to be drafting that have skills directly applicable to what they need.
Then there's the other way, which is, okay, throw a dart. And like if you think one of these guys has potential to be more, and I think the guys that they're going to look at that have that, like where you say, okay, if this guy really blossoms into hit the best him he can be, Stephon Castle and Rob Dillingham become really interesting because they're guys right now who aren't great shooters, but could be, and have a lot of other skills. Stephon Castle is like he's not a point guard. He's a combo guard.
Mm-hmm.
He's a combo guard. And the one knock on him is he's not a good shooter. And I told you, before the show, that's exactly what Anthony Edwards was when he came out. Now, Anthony Edwards was more athletic and like
only a little more.
But Anthony Edwards learned how to shoot. And now we see he's a problem. If Stephon Castle works on his shot, he could be a real problem.
I think of all the guys in the draft, Stephon Castle is the unique one. He's the one that there's nobody else like him in the draft. If you want that, the combo bull, this is the guy in the top 14.
I think Zach Edey. There's not many like him.
Well, I'm just saying, but there's two bigs. Or there's four bigs. There's Sarr, there's Edey, and Klingon. I mean, there's other bigs. But if you're looking for the combo bull guard that has been proven in the crucible of the tournament, it's him. There's no other guy like him. So if you covet that, which I do believe there are going to be teams, that he's going to go up. His stock is going to go from 8. He could be a top 5. I'm going to say he's a top 5 pick by the time this is all said.
I think he will be too. It seems like Alex Sarr is kind of the de facto number 1. I looked at the odds today at DraftKings, and odds for to be the number 1 overall pick, Alex Sarr -180. So it's, I don't want to say it's a certainty, but it does seem like he's consensus the guy.
And there's some of it legitimate. Some of it's legitimate. He does have probably the highest ceiling of any of them. But it just feels so copycat. It just feels like, well, everybody else is getting one. I better get one too.
Okay, so here's the I pulled up the Athletics mock draft, and it's got Klingon going 3 to the Rockets.
That's wrong. Wrong.
I don't think that's going to happen.
His name is Sanguine. They're good there.
But this Zachary Risache, I've seen him from number 1 to number 5, but he's the mystery of the draft.
Get somebody fired. What's going to happen?
Well, they say Spurs number 4.
He's going to get somebody fired. That's what's going to happen.
That's a scary pick. And then with the 8th pick, it has the Spurs taking Reed Shepherd, which fits what we were talking about, someone who fills a need.
And that's the right place for him.
The best shooter in this draft, bar none. He is not big. He is not athletic. He is not what you would look at and say, that's going to be an NBA top 10 pick until you see him shoot the basketball. And it'll be a lot of it'll be a lot of the same questions people had about Steph Curry. When Steph Curry came, and the reason why Steph Curry wasn't a top 5 pick was, well, he's small.
Will it translate?
He's not incredibly athletic, but man, this dude can shoot. He's a decent defender, but a good shooter and a guy who's got good basketball IQ and a guy who at least tries on defense feels like something that can work. And you've got to get a guard of the future at some point.
How much do you hold account the tournament?
The bad shooting performance in the tournament?
Well, I'm just saying, over the years for me, the tournament does matter to some extent, especially for these young kids.
I mean, yes, but he did. But I also think sometimes when you're at a place like Kentucky and you're 18 years old.
Coach got fired. I know there was a mess behind the scenes, and obviously as time has gone by. But the way he and Dillingham played in that tournament, I was a big fan of both, and they both just collapsed in high pressure. Now, as the tournament was done and Calipari left, obviously there were things going on behind the scenes that I think now affected it more than I knew about. But that's why I like Shepherd late. But I can't imagine the Spurs get through these 2 picks without drafting a guy that we can all go, he can shoot. Now, it might be somebody we're not talking about, because I think this draft is crazy enough at 8. Who knows? At 4, I think we can probably zero in on 3 or 4 dudes. But at 8, it could get nuts.
Well, but I think at 8 is where you're going to see the guys available are going to be like the Reed Shepherds, the Dalton Connects, maybe even the Stephon Castles, if you're lucky. And you're going to have an option. You're going to. I think there's 2 good players to be had in this draft. And I like I said, I can see a world where drafting these guys and hoping that they develop a little in the first year or 2 makes their value higher than the 8 slot or the 4 slot. Like, and getting these guys on the floor with Wembanyama, I think can make them look better than they probably are. And then you move on from them before people find out that they're not that good. Like, you just want to up their stock a little bit before you move on from them. And I think that's more valuable than moving on from them while they're an unused pick. All right, let's I'll go over the rest of these mock drafts. On the other side, we've got Yahoo, CBS, The Ringer, NBA Draft.net, ESPN, SI. But got a bunch of them. I'll see what you think the best fits are.
I like SIs.
It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1.
GiveMeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer, paying top dollar for your car, truck, sports car, exotic. What are you waiting for? We want to buy your car right now. Find out why thousands of satisfied customers across the United States put more money in their pocket by going to GiveMeTheVin.com. I told my buyers, let's get them bought. Right now is the time to go.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Are your windows struggling to keep up with the game? It's time to upgrade with Maverick Windows. Stay ahead of the competition with energy-efficient windows. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 to get a free quote.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Hi, everybody. Scott Innes here. For 25 years, I've been voicing lovable cartoon dogs like Scooby-Doo, Astro. Hey, I love puppies and dogs. And now I get to help pets that need a voice to save their lives. That's where the Puppy Food Bank comes in. The Puppy Food Bank helps pet rescue organizations so they can feed puppies. For just $11 a month, you can save a pet's life. Go to puppyfoodbank.org now and donate, and they'll send you a nice gift. Puppy Food Bank is proudly supported by Thomas J. Henry.
Hey, this is Greedy. Join me today at 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm AJ Hoffman. He is Rob Thompson. We're talking Spurs. Talking draft lottery mostly, and what the Spurs' options are.
I want your perspective real quick. What do you think of Trey Jones? Because a lot of what we're talking about hinges on the Spurs' opinion of him, because his future as a backup, maybe a starter.
Feels like a backup.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like if Trey Jones is your starting point guard, when this team gets good, this team's never going to be good. Like I mean, if he's depth, that's great. And I'm not like against Trey Jones, and I'm certainly not trying to show up in this town and say wipe the slate clean of all these guys stink. But there's a reason why this team won 22 games.
The reason I asked that question is you brought up the other mocks that I'm seeing. And there's a lot of mocks that not only have one point guard, but two of them.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like the backcourt needs some reconstruction. I know, listen, and I like Devin as well, but I'm also not sold that Devin Vassell's he's a part of a championship winning team. I don't know that he's like in an era where you've got to have 2 or 3 studs. Is he one of those 3? I don't know.
Okay, let's look at the ESPN. This is ESPN, which I kind of in agreement with this. Rob Dillingham at 4, Dalton Connect at 8. Okay, Rob Dillingham is a point guard, swing guard, probably more of a combo than a point. Dalton Connect feels like a 2 to me, maybe a 3, but you know
he's
who
a 2.
You know who the Wimby, and 3 is the Wimby. So that would be a Devin Vassell killer and a point guard killer. So when you talk about Devin being expendable, when you draft a guy like Dalton Connect, you're talking about drafting a dude that plays Devin's position.
Yeah. So that would be, I mean, all these people mocking, they all understand they understand where the Spurs' strengths and weaknesses are. And again, right now, Devin Vassell's he's the second best player on the Spurs. Right now, also the Spurs suck. So you don't like
sad but true.
The guy who's the second best player now, you're hoping isn't the second best player in 2 or 3 years. Like you need guys that are better than that. And that's just the truth of it. The best player on the Spurs is going to be the best player on the Spurs for years to come. And that's the hardest thing to find. And it's awesome that they've got it, and they've got it under contract for the next several years. The problem is, how do you build around him? And this is where it comes down to, do you trust the front office, and do you trust Pop to tell you what you need? Like what's the best case scenario that we put around him? And I know I can sit here and say,
I know who it is. I've been holding back for the last hour. You can put it in the book. I know who they're drafting. It's foregone. The tea leaves have come together.
Does his name have K's and C's and Z's?
There are a lot of consonants. Yes.
Yeah. Who are you seeing?
It's Nikola Topic. Put it in the books. Go ahead and mail your mama the letter. It is Nikola Topic. Pop's been dreaming of this guy since they drafted. How long ago did they draft? Was it Dragic?
Since they've drafted a point.
Drafted Goran Dragic. The Spurs did.
Yeah.
This guy is
Goran Dragic
all over again. I cannot imagine a world at number 4, if he's there, that Greg Popovich passes on another European point guard.
Yeah.
It just won't happen.
He's big. He's 6'6".
He's got game. He can't shoot. There's some work to be done.
Here's my question about this guy. And again, I watch college basketball. I don't watch European basketball, so I'm lost on this. I know he's a 6'6" guard, that he's got, he can handle the ball. What I do know is he comes off the bench for his EuroLeague team.
I'm not saying a smart one.
And now we're going to make that the second pick in the draft.
Woo!
That's wild. And because that's where he's mocked by The Athletic as number 2 to the Wizards. So, I mean, but you're right.
I'll tell you what.
He's a pop guy.
Whoever the Wizards pick will be wrong.
All right. We'll be back. We got more hoops to talk. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Easy for me to say.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
Hi, it's Jason Minix from The Blitz. Did you know your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s? So if you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Book your appointment now. Go to fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. If you stop running because your feet always hurt, that's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem, and it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Febreze Fabric Talk. Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week. Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
With Progressive, you get more than savings. You get access to us through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
Oh, I see what you're doing here, Jamie. Giving me all these ways to stay in touch so I have no excuse not to. Well, you're in luck, because this guy's in the market for a new BFF.
Actually, all our customers can contact us this way.
Oh, yeah, no, I was just kidding.
But I am always up for Taco Pizza! Jigsaw!
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. From high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone, including blackjack tournaments. From the owners of the Roo Pub and the Angry Elephant, the Big Blind is locally owned and operated, offering daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 and Redland Road.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people? Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie. Don't they do that in the studio?
Oh, normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
94.1 FM. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA draft lottery was yesterday as the Atlanta Hawks won the number 1 overall pick. The San Antonio Spurs have 2 picks in the top 10, leaving with number 4 and 8. The Indiana Pacers crushed the New York Knicks 121-89 to even up the series. Tyrese Halliburton led the way with 20. While the defending champs are back at it, they took both games at Minnesota to even the series 2-all. 115-107 was the final.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 2 of the Morning Huddle here on San Antonio's Sports Star. And breaking news, September 5th, which is
a fine day.
Vic,
one
how
that
many
should
days
be
away
celebrated.
is that? How many days? Can you figure that out? How many days, Vic, until September 5th? I need to know.
You know, that's my birthday.
Is it
so
really?
It's a day that should be celebrated with the likes of a fine NFL football game.
What a day it will be.
Will be.
It'll be a Thursday.
I hope to be awake or coherent by the time kickoff begins.
I bet we are. I bet we'll. I bet you know what? I bet
one of us will be.
I bet we'll be hanging out that night.
I have a feeling we will be.
I bet we'll be watching a football match.
As my neighbor would say, I guarantee.
But the first game of the NFL season is going to be the defending champion Kansas City Chiefs against the defending most valuable player, Lamar Jackson. That is 135 days from today. I can't wait. I'm excited about this upcoming NFL season already, even though I wasn't all that excited about the draft. Like, I'm not sold on any of these quarterbacks. I'm not sold that Caleb Williams is the next thing. I'm not sold that Drake May and Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix or any of these guys, J.J. McCarthy. I don't know if any of them are any good. And, like, my biggest pet peeve with the NFL is there's just no good quarterback play. There's, like, 8 good guys, and then everybody else is mediocre or trash. And I feel like we just got a bunch more mediocre. But I'm still you can't beat the NFL. Like, I just love it. There's something about that Sunday waking up and knowing that you've got.
Well, wait a minute. Like, I was thinking about this last night. I love the NFL too. I do. I mean, we all, the 17 weekends that we build toward and talk about. But there's something glorious about right now. There's something glorious about every night. Every night. And you wake up knowing, or go to bed knowing tomorrow I get it again and again and again for the next month. It's building.
You know what? You're a lot more correct now than you were on Friday, if you said that.
Oh,
because
okay. No, you're right. See, that's the glory of this.
Because before this weekend, it felt like all these series were going to be walkover blowouts. And what do we have now? We've got a couple game 4s that made these series 2-2. The home team has yet to win a game in the Minnesota-Denver series. The road team has yet to win a game in the Knicks-Pacers series, which, boy, they were calling that game yesterday the Mother's Day Massacre. That game was over. Like, how many minutes in did you go, well,
we felt it coming.
Knicks are dead.
They felt the onslaught and pulled in the reins pretty early. Thibodeau got, I don't know, he acted like he was mad, but he certainly didn't coach like they were trying to win that game in the first half.
I think that they knew. I want to say it was about, I'll say 5 minutes in, they knew.
Yeah.
They were done.
So did I. So did you. Everybody knew.
It was like, it was over in a hurry. And it's funny because the other day when we were out at your place, I had a little wager on that Pacers Knicks game.
Worked out well, and that's about the last time I would have touched that, but you would have been wrong. You could have gotten more out of this.
Oh yeah, I took the Pacers in the first quarter, and they got the job done, and then they didn't. I don't think they covered the rest of the game. They eked out a win.
My question, as we talk about the Pacers real quick, and you said we watched them Friday, and you saw them yesterday. Are they winning because of something they're doing?
No.
Or are they winning because of something the Knicks aren't?
They're winning because the Knicks are out of gas.
There you go.
Like we knew this could happen. The way the Knicks play, and honestly, getting dog stomped like this may have been the best thing for the Knicks because you know what it did? It made them sit Josh Hart down. It made him sit Jalen Brunson down. And like, why don't you guys take a break? We're gonna let these other scrubs play. Like, I mean, some of these guys that were on the floor, like Daquan Jeffries getting on the. I was like, what? What is he? He's on the team? I mean, they played some guys yesterday that they will never play again, probably. But it saved some mileage. It's like when you've got a lease on a car and you're like, uh-oh.
I'm at 24.3. I got about 700 miles left.
I need to start riding my bike to the grocery store or whatever. You know what I mean? So it feels like that's where they were at. It's like, oh, I need to get a bike day in. And yesterday was a bike day for the New York Knicks. But the problem is
Can they turn it on?
That's the question. I just think that they are so beat up. They are so tired. And before yesterday, every game that they've played in the playoffs has been down to the wire, a couple points. It's been like a dogfight. That wears you out, man.
So when the way that they won, and I'm not sure whether they amped up the defense or whatever, the Knicks are out. But whatever the case is, shooting's gone way down. If I am Carlisle, I walk into the Garden knowing I'm playing 5-on-6, and the last thing I can do is let the Garden start to give them some juice. I turn the next game into a wrestling match. I mean, I'm going to grind this game down to 90. Now, it does kind of play into what the Knicks want, but at least I know if I'm doing that, I'm playing them 5-on-5 and not 5-on-6.
This is the most important game of the series. I know that's you can
Game
say
5,
that all the time.
Take a shot every time you hear it.
When it's 2-2, and especially when you saw the momentum swing so heavy, like the Knicks, either they stop that momentum at home or they get run over. And based on what we just saw, it wouldn't shock me if they get run over here. I think the Knicks are better than the Pacers, but I think they're only better at the top. And when you remove Anunoby from the equation and you have clearly still a limited Jalen Brunson, who was 0 for 5 from 3 in this game, minus 27, by the way, which wasn't the worst. DiVincenzo was minus 40 when he was on the floor.
See, that's the Vincenzo I thought.
That's what you thought they were getting.
That's the guy I thought that would arrive.
But yeah, they didn't have an answer on either end. Miles Turner is a handful, especially when he's making threes. He's a handful. I think that if the Pacers can steal this one in New York, that it ends in 6. Otherwise, I think we'll be back for Game 7 having the same conversation of, well, it's the most important game of the series. When I said Game 5 I was lying. Game 7 is the most important game of the series. But I think if the Pacers win Game 5, the series is going to end in Game 6. So
they got to get Brunson off of Halliburton. Can't be near him.
It's too much work.
Brunson.
It's too much work.
And here's what scares me more than anything. The Pacers have come back in the last couple of games, and Siakam really hasn't had a very good game yet. And that guy is playoff P. I mean, he does bring another level. There's a reason they traded for him. And if I'm the Knicks and I don't have Anunoby, I'm terrified that Pascal will go into the Garden like he's done before and do something like he hadn't done in the last couple of games. Knicks are in trouble. They're going to have to really dig deep to find something.
Siakam was 7 of 9 from the field in just 22 minutes. But that's the downside for the Knicks as well, like because the Knicks got to rest their guys. But it also meant the Pacers got to get a bunch of scrub minutes in too.
He hasn't made a zero effect on a game. Well, the first 2, he had a little effect in losses, but he hasn't really been what I thought he would be. And if I'm the Knicks, you know it's coming, and it's going to come in the worst possible time.
Yeah, man. The series got a lot tighter over the weekend, and it made because I was thinking, man, there's not a good series. There's not a good series. It felt like everything was a blowout, and now here we are.
Is the Dallas-Oklahoma City series good? Is it good?
I don't know.
I don't know if it is good.
It's not been all that entertaining, but you know what? I mean, were the 2 games in Minnesota super entertaining?
No, not really. No, I mean, they're interesting. I'm not saying but it wasn't like the hockey playoffs where it appears you can't take your eyes off of it.
What I know is Anthony Edwards is going to have to just play 48 minutes. It sucks, but like, you can't take him off the floor. Yeah, look at that. Minus 13 in 2 minutes and 40 seconds when he sat yesterday. Like, was that 2 minutes and 40 seconds really worth it? No, just if you can play 45, you can play 48, right?
I don't remember what he subbed out, but I completely agree. There's no tomorrow. They should have treated today or yesterday like that. There's no tomorrow for them to lose at home like that 2 in a row for a young team. They're going to show me something. They're going to have to really show me something.
To me, like in the playoffs, you're either if you're a starter, you're either like a 38-minute guy or you're a 48-minute guy. And there's not many 48-minute guys, but in the playoffs, sometimes I've got to be a 48-minute guy. I can't, me getting that sip of water midway through the second quarter and sitting for a minute and a half is not worth the damage that not having me on the floor will cost. And that's what this team's at with Anthony Edwards. They cannot sit him down.
It's funny you bring that up. When we saw the way Dallas did come back, they had a guy to kind of fill the void when Luka sat.
Yeah.
They had Kyrie could turn it up and keep that effort going. It's kind of a brilliant strategy that Jason Kidd has manufactured over the last couple of years to allow Kyrie to believe and let him do that in such a limited amount of time. But man, alone, he won the game the other night.
Well, I am going to ask you the question in the next segment as we head to break here. I'm going to ask you the question, did I jump the gun on Minnesota? Did I let myself get bought in after a 2-0 lead, winning both games in Denver, looking so good? And I said, they've arrived. Was I a little early to the party? I'll ask you that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Okay, it's here. Everyone stay calm. It's Kohl's lowest prices of the season. And when I say low, I mean low. I got my kids Jumping Beans tees for $3.99. Treated myself to some cute tees and tank tops under $5. And got grapevines for our patio, 50% off. Plus, I earned Kohl's cash on all of it. Sounds too good to be true. Well, I guess you'll have to go to Kohl's and find out for yourself. Select styles. Offers in May 15th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Feel that heat? That's how it should feel when you're outdoors watching your favorite team coming up to bat, not in your home. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy-efficient windows.
Play ball! Missions Baseball returns Tuesday night at Wolf Stadium. Join us for AARP $2 Tuesday presented by 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Gates open at 5, first pitch at 6:05. Go to samissions.com for tickets.
We're here with Jose of the Gomez Law Firm. Jose, tell us a little about what makes the Gomez Law Firm different from all the other law firms in our area.
We pride ourselves as being an open line of communications. We don't have an automated service. You're not going to ever dial our phone number and get some robot on the other line. You're always going to get a person 24/7. Our principal office is here in San Antonio, and we don't only say principal office because our main office is here. We say it because, again, Mr. Gomez was born and raised here, practicing law here in San Antonio in his community for almost 50 years. There are not many attorneys that can say that. If you've been injured, if you've been involved in an accident, if you've been involved in a car wreck, call the Gomez Law Firm. We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heebner, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Come to Generations Federal Credit Union for a great competitive rate on a home equity loan. Consolidate debt, pay off credit cards, renovate your home, and more. With flexible terms, fixed rates, and minimal closing costs. All with easy applications and fast local decisions. Apply today at Generations Federal Credit Union. Rates and terms subject to approval and may change without notice. Full terms and conditions at mygenfcu.org/homeequity. Equal housing lender.
This is the absolute worst time of year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor stuff that you love to do, like golfing, hiking, biking, jogging, playing on the beach. Hey, it's James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints, like your knees, hips, back, shoulders. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and best of all, no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, who is an orthopedic surgeon who became the future pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. So call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
All right, Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. If you're new to the program, at least for today, and you missed the first hour, where, I mean, I don't know what you were thinking. We got up early to work, and you guys just ignored us.
Sleeping in like a bunch of slack asses.
Sounds wild. But we are going to be registering people to win ACL wristbands, three-day passes to the Austin City Limits Music Festival.
I hear tell those are valuable.
Yeah, they are valuable. October 11th through the 13th, if you listen to the Morning Huddle at 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30, every day this week and next week, we're going to register you to win. And at the end of the week, we're going to draw someone who's registered, and that person is going to get a pair of 3-day wristbands to ACL. They're going to do the same thing weekend? Weekend two.
Weekend two.
They're going to do the same thing on the Blitz. They're going to qualify you at the bottom of the hour, every hour of their show. And at the end of the week, they're going to draw a name, and that person wins the tickets. And then we're going to have one more pair that I've got to work on some stuff, but I think we're going to have some special ways to get registered to win that one.
Feats of strength.
Maybe something like that. But if you don't win, you can always buy your wristbands at aclfest.com. 7:30 going to be your first chance to get registered to win. And I'm going to give you a little trivia about one of the bands that is playing ACL. So
and you get qualified.
Yep.
To win.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah. So we are going to have, here's the way it's going to work. On our show at the end of the week, there are going to be 15 men in the huddle, which would be illegal. 15 men from the huddle, or ladies, 15 people will be qualified from the Morning Huddle, and one of those 15 is going to ACL with a 2-day or a 3-day wristband
better chance than I
weekend two.
Better shot than I do.
Well, better shot than you have of getting them for free.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, you can go pay $400 like the rest of us.
Oh no, that's for the unwashed, man.
You go to the VIP
no,
tent.
I get in free, baby.
Oh,
I'm kind of a big deal.
I used to.
I haven't gotten in free to anything in a while.
I was gonna say that's probably back in when you worked for.
At me. No, they look at me and they go.
When you worked for the Evil Empire, it was easy to get those tickets.
No, it's not that. When you get to the Velvet Rope days, those places, I'm not the clientele they want in. They see me and they're like, yeah, unless I look sugar daddy-ish and I'm standing next to someone half my age, I ain't getting into the club. You know what I mean?
Really?
I get that. I'm to the age
you look like a record producer,
no,
I think.
No, it happened to me in Malibu last year for training camp. We were out walking around one night, and it's just 3 or 4 of us, and it might have been me, might have been who I was with, and we all knew who I was with. Minix and we were at a place, and you could tell there was plenty of room. And I walked in and said, "Hey, and the guy goes, how many?" I said, "No, we're just here to drink." "I'm sorry, we're all booked up." I got the up and down look, and I had the Tommy Bahama on.
They told Ryan Eagle, "You can come in."
No, they looked. No, we were all half zip, 58-year-old Tommy Bahama looking. We weren't the type they wanted in the club. We did not exude cool. We exuded Docker and retirement talk. You get that age where they look at you and you're like, "No, bro. I know you'll probably spend some money, but the vibe you're going to bring ain't what we're chasing."
That's not what they're looking for.
You look creepy. You look like you're here for women half your age.
Well, yeah. And did you say, "Yeah, damn right I am"?
Right. No, I did not say that. But I got that once over, so I realized right there it's over. So Velvet Rose stuff.
Esteban said before we went to break that he hopes Wemby can be a 48-minute guy. I don't think Wemby will ever be a 48-minute guy, and I don't think he should be either.
There will be nights. Yes, Esteban. But we want that to be in May and June.
Yeah, if he needs to win the NBA Finals, maybe.
Yes.
But other than that, no. Just stay rested, stay healthy is the way to go.
And I'm sure that's what he meant.
But first chance to win those tickets coming up at 7:30
around the corner.
We've been talking about the matchups from round 2 of the NBA playoffs and how they we had 2 game 4s that made them 2-2, and we've got 2 game 4s tonight. When I'm sure the Cavs are hoping to make it 2-2. The Thunder, I think, are favored to make it 2-2. So we've got some decent chances of that as well. But did I jump the gun on the Minnesota Timberwolves? Did I get ahead of myself last week when I was like, this team's legit. This team's the real deal? The final score was not indicative of the beatdown that the Nuggets put on them. And that game, if you remember, if you watch that game, it started out, it looked like the T-Wolves were in good shape. And then they slowly started to fade, and the Nuggets tied it up. It was 23-23, and then it felt like it was 50-25 instantly. It was like an incredible, I don't know what the exact run was, but it was an incredible run by the Nuggets late first quarter and in the second quarter that just it made the hill too steep to climb in the second half for the Wolves. Is this Wolves team maybe still a season away in your mind, Rob?
Well, this is the team that beat the Nugs on the road. And it's not so much about there's a couple of chemistry issues I think they're going to have to work through. They can't play with all 3 of those bigs. There's just, I don't know what, it looked weird last night. Pick who you like and let the other guy come off, play less. I don't know which one is which, but that seemed the problem with them. And I think they're going to change. Aaron Gordon was a savior yesterday, and we worried about him in game 1. You didn't jump the gun. This isn't over. We've seen a lot of series go like this. And I think Denver did show some championship DNA, but this is a team that the flaws aren't gone. But Jokic kind of can cover a lot of problems when he's on like he was yesterday. When I say on, he was on, threading the needle and passes just as much as he was getting those little runners in the lane all freaking night. Somebody stop that high pick and roll. You weren't over, but let me tell you, it's that this game 5, the analogy, the axiom, it doesn't start till game 5. Here it sits. The loser goes home.
I feel like you're absolutely right on that. I don't know. This was the first time that I was like, man, maybe they're not like, maybe the rest of that team just isn't enough.
Well, what would you do? You watched them.
Like I said, I would play Anthony Edwards all 48 minutes. Like the fact that they were minus 14 in the 2 minutes and 40 seconds that he set.
Mm-hmm.
Just don't sit that 2 minutes, 40 seconds.
Was he sitting at the end of the first when they gave up 5 points
yes.
and 0.5? Well, I'm not going to count that against him. That miracle 3, but you're right. He has to play more, and I have to figure out why. There's got to be a second. Karl Anthony Towns was a little Karl Anthony Towns yesterday.
He had a rough night. But also part of it, like, is Gordon going to play as well as he did? You know what? I'll just answer it. The answer is no. Yeah, he's never going to do that game. That's the best game of his life, of his playoff life.
So far, but
good luck.
He was due, but doesn't mean he won't give you 75, 80%, and that's really all they needed. You know?
Yeah. I just I don't know, man. I feel like the game 3, I was like, okay, yeah, they got bested. Game 4, I was like, oh boy, this is starting to regress back into a one-man show, and it's really hard to beat Denver if you're a one-man show. And
Mike Conley's cursed. Mike Conley is a cursed basketball player. The paycheck ruined it.
I mean,
when he became the first biggin, the first guy, the first golden cow kind of signing, it cursed him for the rest of his life. You're never going to win a title, young man, but you will be rich beyond your wildest dream.
You might be right. And I also don't think it's a great thing that your second and third options when you're the Wolves are your bigs.
Well, that's the other issue, right? And it shouldn't be bigs, AJ. It should be big. Bigs. Whoever, there's an A and there's a B. You can't have two A's. You can't have two leaders. You can't have two captains. There's an A and there's a B, and right now there's three A's.
Well, and like Karl Anthony Towns is not a center. I mean, he's almost like Wemby. Yes, he's a big, tall guy, but he's not a 5. That's not his job. And Karl Anthony Towns, that's not his job. His job is to draw defenses out and hit threes, and he'll rebound and stuff still, but
well, whose job is it to score?
Well, it's Anthony Edwards' job to score.
Well, he can't score 100. He can get 40, but somebody's going to have to help him.
Karl Anthony Towns.
It's his job.
Karl Anthony Towns should be the secondary guy.
How does he score?
He shoots.
You're right. And what happened last night? He's trying to post up. I don't know what was going on yesterday.
But to your point, what we saw in the first couple games, and especially the game where Rudy Gobert was gone, was Karl Anthony Towns really gives Jokic some looks that he's not comfortable with.
Pulled him out. He had him out on the edge. He wasn't available to grab and go on the fast breaks. Last night, Karl Anthony Towns in the paint. Then Joker was in the paint, grabbing fast breaks and going. I mean, I don't understand what happened to them last night, and it's too many bigs. They got too much down low too often.
I respect Gobert's game, but if Karl Anthony Towns is on the floor with, a couple wings and some guards, you don't have like a real rim protector. I get that. But what you do have is a tired Jokic, because Jokic is going to have to cover somebody, and that means he's probably covering Towns, which means he's working. And again, his length defensively at least gave Joker some problems. To me, I think there needs to be more of him, and I'm surprised to say it, but a little bit less of Gobert. My thought originally was it's got to be Gobert because you can't let Jokic beat you. But then what I saw yesterday was Jokic just eat Gobert's lunch all day. And like saying, oh, well, you got beat by the best player in the NBA. It's not like it's a huge indictment, but we saw
your depoy, baby.
We saw somebody did better against him. And
your depoy.
I think you need to maybe consider the options. All right, we're gonna hit a break. When we come back, we're gonna register our first person to win the ACL Fest wristbands, and we'll get back into this lottery discussion and what the Spurs are going to do with these picks. How many are they going to use? What are the options with the rest? We'll talk about that on the other side. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm feeling it, Vic. Feeling it. Hey, AJ, guess how much I weigh?
239.
Wrong! I weighed 227 pounds this morning post-dump, and I would like to congratulate and thank Dr. Jacob Torres of the Institute for Functional Health. Let me tell you, I started a long time with him, about 8 years ago, weighing nearly 300 pounds. And my goal had always been, if I can get to 225, I think I will have accomplished something. Well, I'm almost there, and I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to keep on going. I'm feeling pretty good about where I am, and I'm feeling pretty good about where I'm going, and I want that for you. He told me, you've tried before, but I have the fix for it, and that is the coaching, the kind of thing that I needed, the mentorship. And the guy that held me accountable, he could look at me and tell me I had a problem because he understands what most of us have gone through, that we've tried and failed many times. And it was because, quite frankly, the diet wasn't going to work because of what our bodies had already been through. That's the difference. Dr. Torres is going to put together a program specifically and only for you. It works, let me tell you. If you want to find out more, give him a call. The number's 210-468-1891. Easy to remember, 468-1891. Call and talk to him. Let him tell you why he has been so successful with me and people just like me. Hey, baby, 227, and I'm dropping like a submarine. You want to find out, give him a call. Go to their website, iffhealth.com. Listen to me close. Call the IFF. Dr. Torres will change your life, and when he does, I want you to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the Spurs now know exactly what they have and what they need to do. So what are they going to do?
We know what we think they need to do, but what will they do? Those questions, now that the NBA draft lottery is behind us, we'll start asking them starting on The Blitz at 2 o'clock, plus the latest on the weekend from the NBA playoffs.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hi, this is Quentin.
And this is Brianna.
A little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips are how satisfying they are. The chicken strips are amazing. They're always filling, tender, and juicy. Definitely one of my favorite things on the menu.
My favorite thing is the last bite. The last bite is nice and juicy, and it's wrapped up in some crispy breading that keeps it nice and tasty. And being able to scoop up my Chick-fil-A sauce with it, it's just like the best part of the meal. It's an undefeated combo.
Order the chicken strips on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Rise and Fall, the new album from Scotty McCreery, is out now, featuring the chart-topping hit, Cab in a Solo. And other fan favorites, including Can't Pass the Bar, Slow Dance, and Love Like This. Rise and Fall, available now, wherever you get your music.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you roll a Charmin ultra soft on the party, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hey, nice. My grip is always soft, it's our party ride. She's cushion in the face, so our cheeks feel flat. So everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 20 or more select self-leveling underlayment. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 2 or more packs of 360 Trex Universal Hidden Fasteners. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This is Jason Minix, and you're listening to the home of the Texas Rangers, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. I'm AJ, he's Rob. Taking you through your morning and about to give you a chance to win some ACL Fest wristbands, 3-day wristbands. Here's what we're going to do. And if you don't win now, don't worry. I'll have another chance at 8:30 and then another chance at 9:30, and we're going to do that all week. So don't worry. But I'm going to give you a little trivia. Probably the most popular band, at least I'd say how about this? The most easily recognizable band.
You mean Krungbin?
Krungbin? No, I was going to
okay.
say Blink 182 is probably like, I don't know, like if you're in your 20s You've probably heard of them. Your parents probably have heard of them. And I think they're still making music now.
It's funny. They were after me. They were that was the gap years, the mid 2000s when Blink was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I was of an age where the previous genre was my jam. So I missed the 182 period. You know what I mean?
When you say the previous genre, are you talking about like grunge?
No, it wasn't the grunge scene. I just wasn't into Blink 182. It was the kids' music. It was the teenagers' music. That wasn't mine. That was dirty. Those dirty punks. I had aged out of that.
It's funny. They're like punk rock music is funny because I think when I think of punk rock, I think of like the British punk bands or New York punk bands who they probably had a lot of stuff to be pissed off about. When I think of these kids who grew up in San Diego, I'm like
the Butthole Surfer group, the West Coast.
I think the Butthole Surfers are from here.
They're Austin, but they were more West Coast skate punk.
Yeah, like that's Blink 182 to me. Is exactly. Pop punk, but because they don't have like this internal rage. Because what's to be mad about when you grow up in San Diego?
My opinion of them was, you don't know, you're copying. But I was wrong. I'm not saying I was right because I know they're a good band, but I caught up to them well after their peak.
So Blink 182 did the album when they got really big. It was on an album called Enema of the State that came out in 2001. That's when they became like that album's like 5 times platinum. They were all over MTV. They did 2 albums before that, and they had a drummer that was not Travis Barker. Before that, the first person to call in and give us the name of that drummer is going to be registered to win tickets. So 210-656-ESPN, 210-656-3776, the original drummer from Blink 182. You tell Vic who that is, and you are registered to win. Congratulations. We'll do that again at 8:30 and 9:30.
James Pledger's precluded from winning, by the way.
James Pledger cannot win.
Even though I know he knew this.
He probably did, but he cannot win.
No, you can't win, James. Sorry. Go do some more push-ups.
All right. We've been talking a lot of NBA today, and rightfully so. I mean, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of NFL news, but we are going to get into some of that in the next hour. I want to talk about Jared Goff and his coffers that are about to apparently be filled, and we'll see if that's right or wrong. But the Spurs end up with the 4th pick and the 8th pick. Here's the projections from the various mock draft sites around the world, and boy, are there many of them. We'll start with, let's see. I mentioned The Athletic had Zachary Richard, the 19-year-old wing from France, as the 4th pick, and they had Reed Shepherd, the guard from Kentucky, as the 8th pick. Yahoo Sports has Nikola Topic at number 4 and Rob Dillingham at 8. CBS has Rob Dillingham at 4 and Dalton Connect at 8. I mean, why would you take Dillingham at 4 when you know he's going to be there at 8?
This draft right there, the last
tells you a
10
lot.
seconds you just showed it.
Oh, no, there's even better, because CBS has Dillingham at 4, Connect at 8. NBA Draft.net 4, Dillingham at 8. The Ringer has Dillingham at 4, Cody Williams at 8.
Excuse me.
I'm hoping against that one as well.
That's scary. Here's what's more scary, Spurs fan. Colorado has been Tad Boyle, their coach, and Pop are good friends. We've mined some players out of Colorado in that vicinity, Derrick White being the least, not the least of which. So that's what scares me, because this cat is not even close.
I agree with that. I don't want him. SI and On3 have the same picks. Number 4, Nikola Topic. Number 8, Stefan Castle. I wouldn't be angry at that.
Not at all.
Although that Topic, man, like I see the turnovers. I don't know. I just don't trust him. I don't know. Maybe I'm not there yet. And then Tankathon has Topic at 4 and Ron Holland at number 8. So lots of differing thoughts, but a couple names, Topic and Dillingham specifically, the ones that you seem to see the most in these mock drafts. They are the most mocked players to them. I don't know if they keep both these picks, but I would rather keep them and trade them a year from now than trade them right away because, like you said, this draft just stinks. There's not a lot of, at least on paper, it stinks. Now, there's a chance that it turns into something.
It's scary. It's just it's a draft of maybes. And, man, when you get a whole bunch of maybes together, that gets scary.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I mean,
another question before we move. Brian Wright. Why was Brian Wright the guy at the lottery thing?
Who should it have been?
Well, Peter Holt Jr. is batting 1,000. Let's give him another shot. Why didn't he choose to go back?
Maybe because he knew there was no Wemby to be had.
Maybe you want to drop the mic.
Yeah,
I had one and only opportunity, and I got Wemby.
I showed up once, and what happened?
Well, I felt, Brian Wright being there. I would have liked to have seen maybe Wemby. No, I guess he was busy. But
did we get a winner? Vic, do we have a winner?
Jacob Lopez.
Jacob Lopez,
well done.
Our first registered Scott Rayner.
Of course. So
Everybody knows that.
Didn't have Travis Barker?
No.
I didn't know.
So Scott Rayner was a big drinker. And I like the first two Blink albums. Like I listened to the first two Blink albums when I was in high school in like the late 90s, and they were fun. But I think Travis Barker, the whole look, the vibe, everything
that's to me, that's
Blink. It clicked, man. And I mean, he's incredible. Travis Barker is as a drummer, he's incredible. But yeah, so they moved on. They were like, dude, you're too drunk to be in our punk rock band. You're out. And the rest is history for Blink 182. So there you go. One out of 15 for this week we've got registered, and he's the first opportunity to go to ACL Fest weekend 2.
So we're doing it again at 8:30. Right?
We'll do it again at 8:30. Different trivia question. Maybe I don't know. I might switch it up. I knew Blink 182 was a band that people would know about. I'm going to throw some of these bands. Listen, if you're not a big Khruangbin person,
I don't know where you're going to go.
I don't know where you're going to go.
Mannequin Cat.
I'll tell you where to go. Google.com. They're going to give you the answers you need. But, if someone knows them and they don't have to Google, they've got a big edge. You don't have that Google lag time. You can jump on it. The Detroit Pistons continue to have not great lottery luck as they fall out of the top 4 despite having the best chance to have the number 1 overall pick. They're going to have the 5th pick. Someone posted they posted a thing yesterday where it's like the Detroit, every time they're at the draft lottery and someone brings the waiter brings one of those trays that has like the silver lid on it.
Ta-da!
And then he pulls it off and it's empty. It's like that's the Pistons. Although the Pistons did get the first pick once. Cade Cunningham, and it's turned out to be a pretty damn good player. They just can't build around him because they can never get a decent pick to put around him. And this year they're not going to have as good of an opportunity as at least they thought they did. The Houston Rockets were also movers and shakers as they end up getting the 3rd pick with Brooklyn's pick. They because their pick is gone to OKC. That was the 12th pick in the draft. But the 3rd pick that came from the Nets, the Rockets got that, and that they were projected to be the 9th pick. So they moved up 6 spots in that thing. So good. The Rockets usually have good luck in the draft lottery. Not always with the actual draft, but, decent luck with the lottery itself.
Well, they pushed Detroit back into the cesspool. Man, that team is... I don't know what's going on up there. I feel bad for Monty Williams, but I don't. That guy, the story, anybody knows Monty's story.
Yeah.
And he goes all the way back to the Spurs. He played and coached here and is a kind of a beloved son, but somehow, Monty's life took a bad turn in more ways than just the fate of, obviously the tragedy of losing his family. But Phoenix just collapsing. And then landing in Detroit and getting paid that kind of money, I felt good for him. But I'm kind of starting to think he might be the problem.
There might be something to that. Yeah, I don't know, but he certainly doesn't have nobody's smiling on him. I'll just tell you that.
No, man.
Nobody's helping him out.
He
doesn't have a guardian angel.
Go kill a chicken, do something, put an egg under your bed. I don't know, do something different. It's just bad mojo going on under there.
So to recap, the Hawks have the first pick, Wizards 2, Rockets 3, Spurs 4, Pistons 5, Hornets 6, Blazers 7, Spurs 8, Grizzlies 9, Jazz 10. And for those who are still following the OKC, the process, they have number 12. So it's again, it was hard to get too stoked about this because there's no players that you're like, man, I sure hope my team can get X player. Like there isn't one of those guys, but if you can find whoever the best of this bunch is, turn it into something or
I'll ask you, who do you think of this crew in 5 years we're going to go, wow, there he went.
Stephon Castle.
You think Castle's the guy?
I think so.
He is the unique one. I think if you're looking at guys that can separate, I think that he's the guy that shows the most. I think Dalton Knecht can be the first guy to be good.
I agree with that, but him being 23
Yeah.
or whatever it is like, okay.
I think we'll talk about him early because I do think he'll contribute immediately because the team that drafts him is going to use him.
I think Reed Shepherd has some JJ Redick qualities to him, like where he's never going to be like one of your 3 best players, but he can hit some threes for you.
The way you define him as the JJ Redick type, and we can go white, black, whatever it might be, but I would rather apply his best possibility is not JJ. If he wants to be a guy, he needs to learn to put the ball on the floor and be a little bit more like, I'm going to go old school on this. This is Mark Price, because he can already shoot. We know that he can do that. But if he wants to be that first round pick, if he can prove that he can put the ball on the court and get to the free throw line and distribute from there, suddenly he becomes a pretty valuable pick. But I'm not sure what I saw showed me that he's ready to do that.
Yeah, I don't know that he can do that either. But it's also a different NBA now where, it's funny you said Mark Price. Brent Price might be a first round pick now because if you can shoot, they'll figure it out. Like it's like, well, it doesn't really matter what else you can do. If you can shoot at an elite level, you've got a job in this league now. Whereas that wasn't always the case back in the day. You had to be can you create your shot? Can you set up other guys? Like now, if you can shoot, they'll find a way to get you on the floor and get you looks. But again, it's hard to look at anybody in this draft and say, well, this guy, if he could only do this,
right?
Because that's what all of them are. They're all incomplete players that if they can figure out this part of their game or that part of their game, you've got something. But you're not going to find a guy who's ready to just throw out on the court and say, yep, this guy is a stud. There's no Wembanyama to just throw out and say, yep, he's going to figure it out immediately. No, even Chet Holmgren, who we saw, he still doesn't look like Wemby, but he looks like a pretty solid NBA piece. I don't know that anybody's going to look like that next season for them.
No, it's just, again, there's going to be somebody jumps out. There's a star in there. There always is. There's always somebody in a draft that turns into somebody that will be a career dude.
And that's why I say if you throw Donovan Clingan out there with Wemby and you set the expectation that, and he's got a pretty simple job. It's like protect the rim and then go down there and clean up the mess if these guys miss, and then kick it back out to Wemby if you have to, whatever. I think that he's an easy path to success. And we've seen the Spurs have success before with two big men. And I wouldn't mind seeing that again. I wouldn't mind it.
You get a big one that can do the 3 R's, rim, run, and rebound, dude. My personal preference is that I'm going to stick with that idea until we draft, that somebody needs to be in the paint. I don't know how they're going to find him, whether it's the draft or it's a free agent, but when the season begins, there needs to be no doubt that there is a center and there is Wemby, and there are two different things.
And I will say this, and you'll notice next year there's going to be some big, and I'm going to say take the other guy. My general philosophy is if all things are even, take a wing or a guard over a big. But in this case, like there's no wing or guard that I'm in love with either. Like if if it's KD or Greg Oden, it's not a discussion. Like, take KD. But in this case, there's no KD, there's no Greg Oden. It's just, what do you need? I really don't know that it's even like best player available. I think this is a need draft, because if there's a lot of these teams, if they had the choice, they'd just say, oh, we won't pick this year. We'll keep this thing. If we can get some stock for next year, we'll do that, or a salary cap help. We'd take that. But they've got to make these picks. There's going to be 14 picks made in the lottery this year, and again, I don't know if the Spurs are going to use 2 of them. I'm almost certain they're going to use 1 of them. It wouldn't shock me at all if they use both, and then eventually try and turn these players, flip them into something bigger down the road. I will say this, as someone who's anti-Trae Young, I hope they use these picks and like move away from that idea. I don't want.
Well, man, that's the window shopping idea. Do you take the first good deal? Because I have a feeling it's going to be a good deal to go get him. I think the relationship with Atlanta, both know if we ever have to deal with each other, it'll be in the championship. So you can be a little bit more lenient and a little bit more forgiving on a deal. Like, I'll give you something a little bit more because I don't have to worry about you. But I'm of the opinion anymore, AJ, I used to not believe this. The old axiom of you can't coach height. No matter what you do, you're never going to coach a player to be taller, but you can coach shooting. I don't believe that anymore. The kind of shooting you need in the NBA, those guys are born. They're just like finding a quarterback. If you can find a dude that can shoot, he's just about as important as a big anymore. If you can find a dude that you can rely on to shoot 40% from 3, he is as valuable as any top 10 rebounder in the league. He just matters more. And when you're looking for that, there's only 2 options. There's really only 2 in this draft. If you're going to draft them, there's only 2, and it's Connect and Shepherd. Those are the only 2 we can assure ourselves of. Those guys we know at the end of the day can shoot, and they were born, not coached. They're already there.
Yeah, I think there is you might be onto something with that. Like that, again, if you're looking for a specialist, those dudes can do it. It's funny. I thought Jacoby Walter from Baylor was going to be that dude, and
I think he will be.
There ended up being some up and down with his shooting, but I also thought he was a better defender than he was. Inconsistent as a defender, I would say, but he would have been the third guy that I was like, look at this guy shoot. This guy's he's gonna get these, but yeah, it wasn't as good as I thought, and then defensively, like I said, fell off. But again. Now, every player in this draft, except for these I don't know enough about these Euros to say I know what their weaknesses are. I don't know what Alex Sarr's weaknesses are. I don't know what Alex Sarr's strengths are, other than he's a big, tall French guy. So I'm not going to pretend to be some kind of an expert on this stuff, because I'm not. I do know, like I said, I saw that Nikola Topic is
if he's at 4, we can debate all we want. We can talk about strengths and weaknesses, but at the end of the day, the guy that's got to coach him has got some say in it. And this guy, Topic, it was born to play for Pop. Born to play for him, man. Are you kidding me?
A lot of turnovers, though. And has already had a major knee injury at 19 years old. That's worrisome.
It's terrifying, and I'm not sure he's the guy. I just think he's going to be the guy.
Ugh. Well, I don't know. They never listen to me, Rob.
Well,
I've been here 10 days and they don't listen to me.
You keep throwing spaghetti against the wall. Eventually, one of them sticks.
Come on, guys. What do I have to do to prove to you that I know what I'm talking about?
Did you see DeJounte Murray's tweet?
No.
He tweeted out, this is going to be fun. A little bit of popcorn emoji. I wonder if he knows something we don't.
Oh, I don't know.
Have they warned him?
I want to know. I mean,
can you get out of your lease?
I would imagine sports talk radio in Atlanta is interesting today, because I don't think they have any idea what their team looks like when the season starts.
Would you rather be them?
No.
Would you rather be on the precipice of, because they're going to be wheeling and dealing. This team,
no.
I get the sense that both DeJounte and Trae are on the block.
What the Hawks are is a consistent play-in level team. And that's, to me, the worst thing you can possibly be. I would rather be, obviously I'd rather be playing for titles, but I'd rather be complete dog do and know that there's a possibility that you can build something and make something happen. And the Spurs right now have a much more blank slate than the Hawks do. All right, hour number 3 coming up. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM, Floresville.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collisions since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
Are your windows struggling to keep up with the game? It's time to upgrade with Maverick Windows. Stay ahead of the competition with energy-efficient windows. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 to get a free quote.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the party, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hey, nice. My grip is always soft. It's our party body. Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA draft lottery was yesterday as the Atlanta Hawks won the number 1 overall pick. The San Antonio Spurs have 2 picks in the top 10, leaving with number 4 and 8. The Indiana Pacers crushed the New York Knicks 121-89 to even up the series. Tyrese Halliburton led the way with 20. While the defending champs are back at it, they took both games in Minnesota to even the series 2-all. 115-107 was the final.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 3 of the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, I'm not calling it the brand new Morning Huddle anymore because it's not.
6 shows in, man.
Old hat, baby. We
done,
are
nearly 30 hours of radio.
Yeah, man. And they say, like, what is it, 10,000 hours? And
Malcolm,
we'll be
Malcolm Gladwell's expert.
I think we'll be experts pretty soon. What's 10? Yeah, 10,000. Yeah, we're right around, like, it'd probably be like this time next year.
At some point.
Yeah.
We're like LeBron. We're just going to keep going.
Speaking of Bron or Bronny, did you see, we've been talking NBA draft. You don't want Bronny James? Go ahead and say it, Rob.
I'd do it tomorrow. I would do it tomorrow. If the Spurs were given the opportunity to draft Bronny, even at 8. No. Even at 8. LeBron's got 3-4 years left in him, man. Did you see him? If you light the flame and you treat this right, and you pair him with Wemby, and you do the right things this offseason, there could be at least one title this fast. We're not that far away. This is the Pacers and the Knicks going at it. It's not like the Spurs are 8 draft picks in age away.
Here's where I'm at with Bronny James. Bronny was the 3rd best guard on USC's team, which was not very good this year. But I guess I have to take into account that he had that heart thing, and maybe he could have been better than he was.
No, this ain't about him. Come on. It's not about him.
You can't draft a guy knowing that he can't play.
I'm drafting
with the 4th
LeBron
pick.
for 3 years is what I'm drafting. And who wouldn't draft LeBron at 8 or 4?
You know, there's something to that. If there was, but there's no guarantee either.
It's scary. But how could you possibly pass on that?
I'll say this: the Spurs have 2 second-round picks. If he's around when the second one comes, I'd throw the dart. Sure.
Oh, I wouldn't do it unless I had assurances. Because Bronny is at best a journeyman. At best.
I don't even think he is.
Yes.
I think at best he's a G leaguer.
So if I'm drafting him, which for him, actually, it's better not to get drafted. I mean, he'd rather be an undrafted free agent and go someplace where he'd fit. But if I'm going to draft him, even with a 2nd-round pick, then, you might find a joker every now and then. But the expectation is that's my G League guy.
He's the next Jalen Brunson. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, it is possible. But I better have some freaking assurances. If I'm bringing in Bronny, there better be a LeBron coming too. I'm not wasting that pick.
If it's the 48th pick in the draft,
at 8. I'm telling you, if I had LeBron said, you draft him, I'm coming. I'm drafting Bronny.
I don't know that LeBron, I mean, certainly LeBron can't say that out loud, but he did say he wants to play with him, a year ago or whatever. Maybe so.
It ain't going to happen.
The odds
They're not
for Bronny James draft position, over under 39.5.
There we go.
And the over is -270.
And let me tell you,
these people all saw Bronny
I don't
play.
care how good you are. I don't care how good they are. If like Memphis drafts him, he ain't going to Memphis. I don't care how good you are. If Charlotte, he ain't going there. In New Orleans, he ain't going there.
You mean LeBron's not going
I'm talking about Bronny. So there's some teams you could draft him, he ain't coming.
Really?
Oh, yeah. He ain't coming to play for He can't do it by himself. He can't even do it with a little bit of help. He needs a lot of help. He knows that.
Yeah, but I think Bronny's going to go. I mean, if someone's willing to offer him a job, I think he goes.
Well, I think he goes, but it doesn't mean LeBron follows him.
No, I don't think LeBron's going.
And if you draft him and you're sitting in Charlotte and you think because we drafted Bronny, LeBron's coming. No, we ain't.
Brian says if Spurs are dumb enough to get LeBron and we win the championship, they'll say it's because of LeBron
That's
and
fine.
not Victor. Who
I'll
cares?
wear the ring.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is, I mean, I've been here for a while and I haven't met anybody say one good word about Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi won you a ring, and you
also lost this one.
Yeah, but I mean, it's one ring that you wouldn't have if you'd never had Kawhi. You know what I mean? Do you have to say, well,
you're
that's
not going to convince us, man. You can keep trying.
No, but I'm asking you, does it do you look at that Kawhi ring as something lesser?
No, I hate the fact that he was a part of it.
I get it, but the ring is still the ring.
I agree.
And if LeBron,
one I'm wearing, I'm proud of. But you're right.
If LeBron shows up and wins a ring, who cares whose ring it is? Like, and the truth is, like, people will say, "Oh, that was the end of LeBron," and if Victor goes on to win more without him, I don't think people will look at it like that. I don't think people will say, "Oh, well, he couldn't have won that one without LeBron." This isn't like a Shaq Kobe thing. Like, this is
exactly. This isn't two guys competing. It's one guy finishing and lifting.
This is almost like a Shaq D Wade type thing.
Very much.
Where the old vet who's like nearing the end of it is able to put the young guy over the top. And the truth is, when you think about that Heat championship, that's looked at as D Wade's ring.
It is his ring.
That's his ring more than the rings he won with LeBron.
Absolutely.
So I don't think that'd be a problem. I'll
tell you, if I'm the NBA and I'm Adam Silver, and if I'm NBC and I'm bidding on this, if I found out that suddenly LeBron would be playing with Wemby for a couple of years, suddenly TV values double. Are you kidding me? Is it possible to nationally televise all 82 games? Can we literally have the LeBron and Wemby channel?
Claymore says LeBron talks a waste of time. He's not even considering San Antonio. I disagree with that.
I think it's a waste because this is all leverage. He's not leaving LA. But I can say it's not crazy. It isn't crazy.
I agree. It wouldn't shock me if he wanted to come back.
Wouldn't you?
How about Frankie says Kawhi can come back anytime he wants. If you'll accept DeJounte back, you got to accept Kawhi.
Nope. DeJounte at least was up front. Kawhi is a lying DB, a lying sack.
Rob will never forgive him.
Never.
What if they said Kawhi comes back and it guarantees you a ring?
Yes, I'll take it.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not stupid. I mean, let's be real here.
But you'll like that ring less than the other ones.
Only it's like your kids. I mean, it's still pretty nice. It's like sex or pizza. It's still pretty good.
Yeah, it's hard to have bad pizza, bad sex. Although, man, I don't know. Maybe they'll sponsor the show one day. I won't say their pizza's bad, but there's some bad pizza out there. I've been so spoiled by pizza now that I hardly eat. My kids want to eat chain pizza.
See, and you have Vegas has good pizza.
Oh man,
you guys have good pizza because they fly in all the right stuff.
Yeah.
They bring in the water, and we don't have that here. We don't do that here.
Vegas is a good food town.
Mm-hmm. It really is.
But so is San Antonio.
We're different. We're not glitzy. We're just good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's good food, man. And that's on my thing. That's one of my things with my career.
You've already begun.
I'll only work in good food towns.
We need to discuss what you had yesterday because it looked phenomenal. Something I've never had before.
I went. I made a little roadie up to Austin, and went to a place called Distant Relatives, and it's a food truck at a brewery in South Austin, and it's African barbecue, which well, that's what I said too, but they had brisket like normal. They had on special though smoked leg of lamb with basil relish, and I said, you know what? You got me.
It's a bold move.
Let me go with that. And I had brisket and I had lamb and I had black-eyed peas it had burnt ends in it. And It's a hell of a meal, Rob. Hell of a meal.
The picture, I'll tell you, it was as good a looking a leg of lamb as I've ever seen. I don't know. I can't quite place how it would taste with. It's because it's already such a rich meat. To smoke it makes me think that the unctuous bite would be ridiculous. Like I'd have to follow it with a pickle or an onion immediately.
Yeah, you can. If you're on the gram, I posted it.
It's pretty.
It's at AJ is the real is my Instagram and my X account. So and that may be something like
might be a way to win tickets, but that's a day.
I'm not telling you that if you follow Rob and I and at SA Sports Star that you're going to have a better chance of winning some ACL tickets at some point, but you might want to do that.
Can't
hurt. And that for Rob, it's at Rob Thompson ESPN. Is that your IG as well, or just your okay? So on X or IG,
close. There's an underscore in there, but you'll find it. Just start typing.
Okay. At Rob Thompson ESPN, and mine is at AJ is the real on all those platforms as well. But yeah, good barbecue, man.
It looked phenomenal, and you're allowed. And this is for all you newbies in here that are starting to grow the north. The north side toward New Braunfels and Austin. We don't mind down here if you talk about Austin barbecue. It's okay. But anything else, no. Don't bring up Mexican food. Don't bring up tacos. We'll accept New Braunfels Mexican food talk because they've been drafted. They're our team.
What about beer? Can I talk about Austin beer?
Oh, you can do that.
Okay.
Beer we accept, but food, they're a little cocky about their tacos. They're a little cocky, but other respect to the barbecue game.
Like from a breakfast taco, where Austin is, it's a high-end breakfast taco town.
It's silliness.
But
frivolity.
San Antonio is god-tier breakfast taco land, in my opinion.
It is.
So, I mean, as good as Austin is, it's not on that level.
Right.
And honestly, I mean, not to badmouth San Antonio, but if you're going to get better breakfast tacos, you can't go north.
Oh, true.
You got to go down we know. Some South Texas or some Valley.
Go. Well, there's some good ones north, but the real line is Highway 90 and 10. When south of that, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
North of that, you got to start looking for pickups and chickens.
Yep. All right. Man, the show is flying by today, Rom.
Good stuff.
I mean, we're already through almost 2.5 hours.
We got more tickets to give away.
We got more more opportunities to give away. And really, we've almost talked exclusively NBA so far. I don't know that it's worth getting into the hockey games, but there were some good ones, including a goal that probably shouldn't have been allowed.
Oh, it was a beautiful thing. It's worth at least the reffing or the officiating is universal. There are problems everywhere.
And I got a feeling that in the Canucks Oilers next game, there's going to be fisticuffs. Because so to put it in perspective, anybody who doesn't follow hockey, Connor McDavid he's like the I don't know how to put it. He's like the Nikola Jokic of the NHL. He's the best player. He's the guy that everybody's chasing. He's the one who everybody wants to be.
Pretty boy.
At the end of the game, he takes a cross check to the back, which knocks him down and knocks him into a cross check across the throat. The game's over. I'm telling you, and you're talking about the best player in the NHL getting hit like that after the game's over. I would be shocked if as soon as the first puck drops that we don't see gloves hit the ice and just throw down. So for that alone, I'm going to be watching the start of that next game. Even I don't care who wins, but I do want to see some fisticuffs. That's what I'm looking for. All right. We're going to talk some NFL coming up. I want to say at 8:30. We're going to talk about Jared Goff and the potential payoff that he's about to get and whether or not that is the right answer. But we've got an interesting story here on the other side that has absolutely nothing to do with sports, believe it or not. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, the Spurs now know exactly what they have and what they need to do. So what are they going to do?
We know what we think they need to do, but what will they do? Those questions, now that the NBA draft lottery is behind us, we'll start asking them starting on The Blitz at 2 o'clock, plus the latest on the weekend from the NBA playoffs.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't sweat a swing and miss thanks to insurance tokens from BetMGM. Add an MLB wager to your bet slip and activate your bet insurance token. If your bet with the token applied doesn't hit, you'll get your stake back in bonus bets up to a specified maximum amount. That's another chance to step up to the plate and bet on the action out there on the diamond. Go to your BetMGM account today to claim your bet insurance token and get your stake back in bonus bets if your MLB wager using the token doesn't win. Only at BetMGM, the king of sportsbooks and official sports betting partner of MLB. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age or older. This U.S. promotional offer is not available in D.C., Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, call 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, call 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, call 1-800-981-0023. For West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Jason Minix here from The Blitz. Guys, are you ready for your next tea time? But you're lacking energy, motivation, maybe gaining weight, just not hitting them like you used to? Or there could be another tea to think about. These symptoms could be caused by low testosterone. At Synergenics, their medical providers specialize in personalized testosterone treatment, and they make it quick and easy to get your levels checked. Do it now and feel the difference. At Synergenics, you get your results back on your first visit. Book your appointment online at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
We all expect our home to protect everything we love. But here in Texas, we don't expect the ways water is breaking down our foundations and damaging our homes. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is shifting. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Foundation Support Specialists. Make sure your investment is protected. Get your free inspection at FoundationSupportSpecialists.com.
For the last 4 decades, San Antonio sports has dared this community to dream big through the transformational power of sport. For 40 years, we've inspired youth to get in the game, motivated San Antonians to live healthy, been a force behind places to play, and hosted events that impact. As we celebrate 40 years of dreaming big, we invite you to dream big along with us. To support our mission, donate today at sanantoniosports.org.
QC Kinetics provided amazing pain relief for a former professional baseball player, and you have access to the same life-changing treatments as retired Braves pitcher Jose Alvarez.
I put a lot of stress and strain and work on my right arm, but my right elbow took most of the damage with 3 surgeries.
Arthritis developed and the pain was unbearable.
It wasn't just pain when I was trying to play sports. It was anytime I was moving the right elbow. It was pretty excruciating at times.
That's when Jose discovered QC Kinetics and the regenerative treatments that help the body heal itself, restoring damaged tissue and providing relief with no surgery or downtime. Jose's message to the medical professionals at QC Kinetics?
My elbow is feeling outstanding. Where were you 10 years ago, for crying out loud?
QC Kinetics is right here. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you are a family member and needs an experienced attorney, an attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400 or alawyerforus.com.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime. It is showtime here on the Morning Huddle. 8:19 on the program, which means at 8:30 we're going to give away another chance to win 2 3-day wristbands to ACL Austin City Limits Music Festival. That is October 11th through 13th. Weekend 2 is that one. I think our next opportunity here at 8:30 you're gonna have to call in. Like, I'm gonna hear you talk on the radio. You're gonna have to give your answer on the radio.
Hey, Aggies, by the way, this is second weekend we don't got a game. You can go ahead and play.
Okay, no game at all.
No game, second weekend.
Oh,
taking that weekend off.
Rest up early
or getting ready. You know SEC, it's tougher there.
That's what I hear. Well, it just means more.
It just means more. I've been told that.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. So yeah, we'll have plenty of football to discuss at some point. And I'm sure the Aggies are probably in line for a national championship.
Of course,
would be
every
my
year.
guess.
For every year.
I can't imagine that they wouldn't be. All right. I wanted to get into a couple stories that have absolutely nothing to do with sports, but I found interesting anyway. You've got kids that are of the age where they probably have done some things for clicks on social media or for likes. Like,
I have one that's a slave. Yes.
Okay. Now, does he do like does he travel and do adventure and things like that?
Yeah.
All right. There's a canyon out in Utah, Grand County, Utah. This is like Moab, I guess.
Yeah.
They have those rock formations that are just like, it's like a giant stand, and then there's like a tabletop on top,
and it's all flat and round.
There's a flat thing on top, and so they call them a hoodoo.
What?
HOODOO.
A hoodoo?
Hoodoo. Now, somebody was like, I got to get these likes, and there was about what looks to be a 7 or 8 foot gap between the main chunk of land and this hoodoo. And this guy was like, I'm going to get out there and I'm going to snap a selfie. So he jumped across, made the jump successfully. That's always nice. I say 8 feet. There's no way it was 8 feet. It looks like probably more about 5 feet, 6 feet.
How high?
Well, they're thousands of feet from the.
So it was a leap of faith, man.
Yes.
All right.
But here's the downside. Sprained his ankle when he made the jump. Which means jumping back was going to be hard. So he just sat out there for several hours until rescuers came. And then it took even 3 hours longer after they got there. They had to rig up rope and set a ladder. It was a 5-foot gap. Like, you don't need the likes that bad.
I thought this story was going to take a terrible turn, to be real with you. I thought we were going to be talking about scraping something off a rock.
I always see these guys and like parkour. When I see these guys like do that parkour stuff, I'm like, how do they not get hurt and just fall to their death?
Well, I think most of them do.
I guess you just never see. They never post those on Instagram.
Those don't actually make it to the gram.
That's only dark gram. Like the dark
web gram.
There's gotta be, because there's gotta be video like of the ones who don't make it. Like, I'm interested in that.
I've stayed up there too, man. You're gonna have to come get me.
I mean, what if they just said, no, we're not gonna do it?
I'm gonna have to stay up here. You have to fly and drop in some water. And if you think it's raining, it ain't.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say, maybe take a picture from the mainland and make it look. I mean, we got Photoshop, right? You can still get the likes.
YOLO, baby.
No,
YOLO.
well, YOLO almost got cut in half. You almost lived about half as long. One other story, and this one is a sad tale because it involves a man who's drinking and driving, which
is a terrible way to enjoy a beer.
Terrible way to enjoy a beer. He was arrested driving drunk. Willie Laginis.
You got me already.
Is a 64-year-old man. He was arrested in Georgia.
Of course.
Deputies said that they noticed him drinking from a can and driving. And when they pulled him over, they didn't have to ask him to put his window down because he was riding a lawnmower.
Is that really illegal? Was he doing the county a service? I mean, if he was on the grass, why are we mad at him?
It's a good question.
Come on, let him go. It's a little wobbly line. I get it, but I'll take that.
They said, well, where are you headed, friend? And he said that he'd left the Golden Pantry and was headed home.
Swing by my house, take a couple laps.
They said his breath smelled like alcohol, and he had a bag lying by his feet on the lawnmower. He allegedly threw the beer can on the side of the road, which littering, that'll get you. But he told deputies that he drove to the Golden Pantry 15 minutes before he was stopped. The bag contained remaining cans of beer that were undrinking yet. And he said, give me a chance. I've been in this situation before. He told deputy, he said, I was hit by a car last year riding my lawnmower. He was arrested and charged with DUI, an open container, and low-speed vehicle violation, and booked into jail. I mean,
come on, Deputy Fife. Let Otis sleep it off and drive his lawnmower home.
We got bigger concerns, man. We got bigger concerns.
He has to do time in my shed. You once you wake up, you mow the back and you can go on home, Otis.
That's it.
Willie. Arresting him. Come on. What? We're a small town.
And I mean, anybody who's drinking beer if you get a riding lawnmower, you get it so you can drink beer while you mow.
Have you ever noticed there's a cup holder? Yes, you have.
For damn good reason. Yeah. I feel like this is a miscarriage of justice, in my opinion. Plus, it's a riding lawnmower. He was just riding.
And he's probably on the grass.
No, he was on the road.
Oh, he was on the road?
He was on the road.
If he was in front of me, I'd be a little annoyed.
I would be too.
I'd probably take him a little bump.
But I get annoyed when there's tractors or whatever, or anything bigger than my car is like slowing me down. That's annoying to me. I get annoyed when people ride horses in the street, like are in the road.
Well, welcome home, baby.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen that though.
I also hate parades. You'll find this is like people are like, well, parades are awesome. I think parades are the stupidest thing.
Parades? What about on the water?
That's
fine.
What
are your thoughts on river?
I'm better with that. You know why? Because it doesn't impede traffic. It doesn't.
Well, no, it doesn't.
There's people are on the roads. They've got stuff to do.
Truth.
Like no one has time for a parade. I get it. You win a championship. You want to have a parade. Can't you just have like a big party at your building and like invite everybody to come to the arena? And
well, we do that too. We do both.
I don't like parades. I think they're stupid.
I think we do both. It's been a minute.
I'm against them. So it's a long-standing feud I have with parades. All right, we're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to give away some tickets. Be ready to call in. Woo! And this is, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. Be ready to call in if you know something about Chris Stapleton, because that's where we're going with this next little bit of trivia. Chris Stapleton playing at ACL Fest. We're going to register someone to win some wristbands on the other side of this. And then we're going to talk about Jared Goff's wallet and how fat it should be. All that and more coming up on the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
San Antonio's Sports Star.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Feel that heat? That's how it should feel when you're outdoors watching your favorite team coming up to bat, not in your home. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy-efficient windows.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at HEB today.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors, it helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in one wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. But prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks. Fantasy, you're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin, ultra soft on the party. Less is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and nice. My grip is always soft, it's our party vibe. She's crushing in the face, so our chicks feel fine. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
What companies would you want to work for? Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks which companies are a force for good. Companies like Bank of America, which just earned the prestigious Just Capital 2024 seal. Bank of America is ranked #1 in the banking industry and #1 for their ongoing commitment to workers, offering best-in-class benefits, including a minimum wage of $25 an hour by 2025. Visit justcapital.com to learn how a just business is a better business.
Furnished by Just Capital.
This is Jason Minix. You're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right. Morning Huddle. 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
Is this band going to be at ACL? Who are these guys? Is this Krungbin?
This is Krung.
This is a Krungbin?
Krungbin. Say it with me, Krungbin.
Krung.
Hey, if you want to go to ACL, we've got you covered here at San Antonio Sports Star. We've got your 3-day wristbands to the ACL Music Festival Week 2. That's October 11th through 13th. All you got to do is listen 7:30, 8:30, 9:30. And then the Blitz.
What time is it?
8:30-ish. The Blitz at 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30.
Our wristbands are better.
Well, you got a better chance of winning ours, I can tell you that.
No, I picked them. Ours, you're going to end up with better place to stand. Oh yeah, you'll make better decisions as far as the food you get.
Mm-hmm.
They're just better.
There's prettier girls and less smelly guys.
All of that
where you'll
rolls
be
into the ones that we chose for you.
Yeah, colder beer. It's a whole thing. Yeah. We've curated our wristbands.
Mm-hmm.
One winner from each show is going to be chosen at random at the end of the week to win a pair of 3-day passes for ACL Weekend 2. And if you don't win, of course, you can buy your wristbands at aclfest.com. Let's get somebody on the board who knows some Chris Stapleton. And this is going to be an easy question, really. If you're a fan of Chris Stapleton, it's an easy question. So if you're a fan and you want to be registered to go to ACL, hop on the line. And once we've got some on, I'll throw out a question or two. We're also going to talk about Jared Goff. And it looks like Jared Goff, at least according to his agent, is next in line for a massive payday. And I really think this is a disaster waiting to happen. I don't think Jared Goff is a dude. I think Jared Goff's having a nice season, but I think there's going to be real buyer's remorse as soon as that gets locked in. Where will I see callers at, Vic?
Let's see. You won't see them on that screen.
Oh, okay.
We need the call screen.
Vic's having to make some changes.
We got to use our mouse. So how much Chris Stapleton do you know? I mean, are you a fan?
I'm a fan.
I mean, I like a little. I like. First time I ever heard of him was when he was with Justin Timberlake. That's Tennessee Whiskey song.
Yeah.
And then I have grown to completely like Chris Stapleton.
He's good, man.
That's going to be that is reason enough.
Country is very hit or miss for me, but he's one of the good ones, I think. All right. Let's talk to what is this? Britton? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
All right, Britton, you get first crack at this. Britton, are you ready?
Sure.
Are you into Chris Stapleton?
Well, I like music and I would love ACL. We'll give it a shot.
So you're hoping
you're in, baby.
I'm okay. Then you know what? Because you sound like maybe not. If I asked you, are you going to be better with older Chris Stapleton or newer Chris Stapleton? What would be your answer?
Older.
All right. Then I'll go back to 2016. Chris Stapleton's album was nominated for Album of the Year for a Grammy. It did not win, but it did win the Best Country Album of the Year. What's the name of that album?
Steel Driver?
That is not it, I'm afraid. That is not it. I'm sorry.
Worthy effort, though.
Let's go to Flip.
Hey, you can try again, man. We'll be here all week.
Let's go to Flip. What do you got, Flip? You know the answer to that?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, man. The name of the album I'm going to go
Buffering.
Starting Over.
That is incorrect.
It's not starting over?
Man, it's
Seriously?
not starting over.
I thought it was starting over.
No. And so now people have had time to Google. So the next person, they're going to get a whole different question.
Cool. But it's not. Okay, so
It's
what is it?
Traveler.
Really? I thought it was starting over.
It's
2016.
Traveler.
Wow. That's when I first knew of Chris Stapleton.
All right. Let's go with Carolyn. Hello, Carolyn.
Hi.
I noticed that you're a lady listener.
Yeah.
Good eye.
Is that is that something? How long have you been listening to the Sports Star? Is this a new thing?
No, probably about I guess like 6 months.
Okay. All right.
Welcome to the party. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, welcome in. Look at us.
Cool.
We're diversifying our audience around here. All right.
I love that it's local. That's why it's amazing.
Yes.
Well, there you go. All right. Are you a Chris Stapleton fan?
I'm a little bit, yeah.
Okay. In 2018, he won a Grammy for Best Country Song. And it's about, let's say it's angel related. How about that? Do you know the name of that song that won the Best Country Song Award at the Grammys in 2018? Got to Google faster. Got to Google faster, Carolyn.
I don't know.
I do. Is it in the stars?
No. Oh, sorry,
Carolyn,
Carolyn.
keep listening. More chances to come.
Esteban. Hello, Esteban.
I'm banking on you, Esteban. My money's on you. It's coming.
What's going on?
Are you a Chris Stapleton fan?
Only if it's by the fireside with a beer in my hand.
All right.
Hey,
Well, when you were sitting at the fireside with a beer in your hand in 2018, this won the award for the Best Country Song at the Grammys. What is the name of that song?
Is it Either Way?
It is not. It is Broken Halos. Now, it's funny that Either Way won another award that same year for Best Solo Country Performance, but Best Country Song was Broken Halos. All right. We're going to give one more chance. And you know what? Honestly, the next person to go on is probably going to win because I'm going to make this question so damn easy that if you don't get it, then, well, you're not cut out for this. They're going to kick this off the YouTube. You know that, right? Or will they do that while we're talking over it?
I think we can keep talking.
Okay, we can keep talking.
We gotta keep talking.
All right, as long as we keep talking, we'll be okay.
No, we're not gonna be okay.
No, we're not gonna be okay.
But it's worth a shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to give away these tickets, and nobody seems to want them.
Everybody's circling in. Everybody's close.
I'm trying to think of the easiest question I could ask about Chris Stapleton, but I don't know. I don't know if our audience really wants to go to ACL. Might be the issue.
It might be what everybody else is
might
saying.
be the issue.
I know if I win them, so dial.
You know
never
what?
know.
You know what I'm going to do? Pull me up the Brigade
bar.
I'll give it to one of them. Let's see. All right, turn this music down. I got to think for a second. You're throwing me off here.
I see some candidates.
There's some people saying, "Oh, I would have known all of these. I would have known all of these." Of course you would have. All right. This year's Grammys, Chris Stapleton won the award for Best Country Song and Best Country Solo Performance for the same song. What is the name of the song? 2024. This year's big hit won the Grammy. What is it? First one in the Brigade is going to be nominated. So there you go. We'll find one of these guys has got to figure it out.
Come on, this is easy.
And now you got time to Google and everything. Although, I mean, you got to be quick on the draw because a lot of these guys aren't Googling. Eloy said, "Come on, I've known the answer to all of those, you idiots."
Liar. Get on the phone.
But he hasn't put this one up on the chat yet. So we'll see if someone gets it. And if they do, Edwin, you let me know. You let me know who the winner is because, listen, I can only play the game show host for so long when you guys can't get any answers right.
You wanted to be Drew Carey, man.
Oh,
you are the local Drew Carey right
so
now.
So much better than Drew Carey. So much better than Drew Carey. But, you know, I'm not famous.
You know where Chris Stapleton's from?
Originally?
I guess.
I'm
just reading something. I assume this is original.
I know he lives in Nashville, but I believe he's a Lexington, Kentucky native.
Well, it says Staffordsville, Kentucky.
Okay,
that might be Lexington. I don't know.
I don't know a lot of Kentucky geography.
Me either. Although Valhalla is in Kentucky.
It is in
we
Kentucky.
have learned today.
There's a golf match there this weekend. Nobody's put up the right answer yet. It's
a bunch of sucks.
You guys think Tennessee Whiskey won the Grammy for Best Song in 2024? Guys?
Yes, Josh, he does.
Eloy.
That's not the song we're talking about.
All right, there you go. Gilberto is our winner.
There we go. Come on, guys. White Horse.
Man.
That record won everything.
Won everything. I told you guys I'd make it easy, and nobody wanted to take it.
We do talk instead of music. So I do appreciate there might be a gap there.
I mean, well, normal people listen to music too, right?
Well,
like
you're thinking there's normal people on this. You think this is
you
normal?
listen to music,
are you
right?
Well, yeah.
I listen to music. I do talk radio. You do talk radio. We
Yeah.
listen to music. You got to diversify.
Better.
Got to diversify. Now I'm worried though, because man, we're like we've had some trouble. The first one was relative. How many calls did it take before they got that first one right?
One.
First guy got it? Okay, that's pretty. I would have thought Chris Stapleton would have been way easier than.
It's going to be hard to give away Sturgill Simpson if Chris Stapleton.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like if you guys are struggling with,
but they're all Krungbin fans.
Maybe so.
I mean, that's it.
I bet it's going to be your niece is going to call in and know that I'm going to say, what's the most famous Khruangbin lyric? But the problem is they don't have lyrics.
They're like what are they? A Filipino street band? Is that?
I think they're Thai.
Thai. That's what it is.
Thai. But everybody's saying, "Oh, I don't listen to country." Well, all right.
But you listen to music. You've heard Chris Stapleton.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really listen to country either, but I've heard some Chris Stapleton. I enjoy it when I hear it. I don't know, man. You guys got me worried. That's number 2. We got 13 more of those to give away this week. I was going to try and do some fun stuff, like name that tune and how many, but I'm worried about our audience.
I think once we get off the country side of things and start getting into the little bit more of the rock side of things, a little bit more of that, I think we'll do far better.
Okay.
I really do. I'm not sure that, Chris Stapleton is applicable to most.
I also think that this is a unique lineup for ACL Fest. Like usually there's for lack of a better term, one of your dad's bands is usually on it.
Here we go. This ACL's getting old, and I don't like it. It's getting old. It's old.
No, you're getting old.
But they're getting old with me because we're the only ones that can afford and would care to go.
Yeah.
My 21-year-old kids saw it, and they're going to ACL because it's ACL. They're not going to ACL to go see Stapleton or Sturgill.
Well, I mean, it's different strokes for different folks.
No, I agree.
The young crowd, Dua Lipa, there's a lot. It's way different than what we like. The first time I went to ACL, the Sunday headliner was the Eagles. Like everybody,
they've done it since too. They've been back.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Everybody knows the Eagles. I think that Dua Lipa is to it's a cool. Younger crowd. You got it. You got to bring in the next generation of festival goers, Rob, and maybe you're more of a Coachella guy.
Well, see what I'm saying
you
is
go out, live in a tent.
I think the first ACLs were Coachella. The bands came. They were unique. They did exploratory things. They did cool stuff here. Now it's who's on tour.
Well, I think a lot of it is also like Austin is maybe they're not looking for the biggest brand names. They want people who want to fit the vibe that they're going with that year. And it seems like that's what they're doing here again. All right, let's talk about Jared Goff, because this
I don't know how we got here. I really don't.
I want to understand this. This was a good season for Jared Goff. And it feels like for a franchise, it's always been kind of a laughing stock. I get that you've got a quarterback now who's doing well, got you in the playoffs. You want to take care of that guy. They got him back in 2021. Year one was not good. They sent Matt Stafford, and on top of year one not being good, Matt Stafford won a Super Bowl, which made it all feel even worse. His contract's up at the end of this season, and he's going to be 30. Is Jared Goff a top 10 quarterback in the league? I would argue no. Is he top half? Probably, but he's 30. How much longer before he's not a top half of the league quarterback? And if you pay him now, I mean, this isn't a situation where he's one of those guys who the only reason the Lions are good is because of him. Like, this is a guy who, for most of his career, was considered a disappointment. Like most of his early career, and that's despite taking his team to a Super Bowl. he was looked at as a disappointment.
How old is he?
He'll be 30 this
I
year.
feel like he's 40.
I could see that. I could see feeling like because everybody when they're all these other guys who are out throwing for 5,000 yards a year, that's not Jared Goff. And I don't know because Goff isn't one of these guys who's an MVP candidate who's going to just strap the team to his back and carry him.
This is an interesting dynamic that Jared Goff is going into. I didn't realize he was about to be a free agent. But he's coming into the market at the same time Dak is. Does that help them both? Does it hurt them both?
It's interesting because, Dak was second in the MVP voting.
Mm-hmm, but I think a lot of people look at Dak a lot like they look at him.
How old is Dak?
What is he, 30?
Okay, so they're about the same age then.
Yeah, they're real close.
It's funny you mentioned that he feels like he's old. You know who the Cowboys took in the draft the year that the Rams took Goff?
Sounds like a Taco Charlton year, but was that a Dak draft too? Yeah.
It's an Ezekiel Elliott.
Oh, that was the Zeke draft.
Number 4 pick. So Goff went 1, Carson Wentz went 2, Joey Bosa 3, and Zeke Elliott 4.
The memory of Goff was he was drafted with the Rams the last year of Joe Average as coach, and he was on Hard Knocks. And my opinion of him kind of stuck at that moment. He's a talented guy, and he's going to get paid. But the amount that we're talking about, we're getting to a point where we're around the wide receiver number or the running back numbers where you go, you know what, we're reaching a max here. We're getting to a point where this is getting silly. If Goff gets what I expect him to get, and he's going to get it.
There's 2 things I think worry me about Goff. He's got an OC that is looked at as like one of these uberkind, brilliant football guys, and chances are good. And in fact, I was surprised that Ben Johnson was not hired in this cycle because, if I'm not mistaken, I think someone reached out to him, offered him a job, and he was like, "No, I'm going to stick with the Lions," which is wild, but it's a bold strategy. But maybe it pays off. But when he's gone, I worry about what happens to Jared Goff.
Is Dan Campbell kind of a cult of personality anyway? Isn't it all Dan Campbell? It feels like Detroit is all Dan. Whatever Dan is, that's Detroit, and it doesn't matter who the quarterback is.
The question for me is, what's the comp for Jared Goff, and what do you hope Jared Goff is going to turn into? I think of Jared Goff a lot of the same way I think of Kirk Cousins. And Kirk Cousins is paid now in a way that I would be uncomfortable signing Jared Goff to a 4-year, $180 million contract. But also, Jared Goff's 4 years younger than Kirk Cousins. Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl. Kirk Cousins has not. And Jared Goff isn't coming off an Achilles surgery. So when you add all those things up and you still think that Kirk Cousins got $180 million for 4 years, I think you have to expect that Jared Goff's going to be at least that. And I think that's a big mistake. I think that's that will set the Lions back. The Lions right now are building something, and I know you want to keep as much of that around as you can, but man, you throw all that money in the Jared Goff pool and you make Jared Goff like a Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen, where they're paid so well that it's really difficult to keep a good team around them. I think you see this team crumble the way the Seahawks crumbled when Russ got paid, because I think the truth of it is the Lions have built a pretty good culture, built a pretty good team, and the quarterback's the quarterback, but they could still be pretty good with another quarterback.
I'm looking at the depth chart, AJ. Jared Goff and Hendon Hooker. I think they're about to pay Jared Goff.
I think they're about to pay Jared Goff. And again, a lot of it is you either have one of these guys or you don't. And Detroit's like, well, ours is closer to good than terrible. So guess we got to go for it.
$50 million.
Man, what a life. wasted my time doing anything but trying to be a professional
Should have been slinging
quarterback. What a foolish error on my part. All right, we got more NFL to discuss, more NBA to discuss. What's your guess? Give me the best bet for Jared Goff contract.
I think that
LinkedIn cash.
They're not going to let it get anywhere. Detroit is building something. They feel it, and he's going to be the beneficiary of that. And he's going to get the $50 million. They kind of got to get it to him. I think but knowing Goff, he'll give the team a break and they'll spread it out. I just find it fascinating that Goff and Dak Prescott are both hitting the market at the same time.
Who gets more?
Mm-hmm. I think
I can tell you. The answer is
Jared's going to get a deal that he will keep him with Detroit until he decides to hang it up. And Dak will get a 2-year deal. So it depends on how you measure total dollars.
Who gets more? The answer is whoever signs second.
Right.
That's the answer. All right. That is 3 hours in the books. 1 left to go, Rob. I think we're going to make it through this day. I think we're going to get there.
Let's go carbo load.
It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Are your windows struggling to keep up with the game? It's time to upgrade with Maverick Windows. Stay ahead of the competition with energy-efficient windows. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 to get a free quote.
Joe Reinagle here. I want to tell you about something that has completely changed my life. I had vision correction surgery at Parkhurst New Vision. The results are amazing. The readers are a thing of the past. Hey, if you're like me and tired of those glasses, call Parkhurst New Vision at 210-585-2020. They offer a variety of services like vision correction surgery. So call Parkhurst New Vision, 210-585-2020, or get them online at sanantoniolasik.com.
Do you have unfiled tax returns or being threatened by the IRS that your wages are about to be garnished or bank accounts are going to be levied? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has professionals ready to fight for you. Their enrolled agents, tax attorneys, and CPAs have saved millions of dollars for taxpayers just like you. They won't just resolve your tax problems. They'll most importantly protect your wages, bank accounts, and all your assets from being taken by the IRS. Call for a free consultation. 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. Or go to alliestaxrelief.com.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free.
I went hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins.
Join the millions of people who are celebrating going hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins. Footwear you just step into and they're on.
It's crazy how something as simple as a pair of shoes have made my life better.
After trying Skechers Slip-ins, I want all my shoes to have this technology. See what everybody can't stop talking about. Go hands-free with Skechers Slip-ins at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
What seems to be the problem?
Doctor, thank God. My husband found out Cricket Wireless has 5G plans for $15 a month, and his jaw just dropped.
Did he hear about Cricket's blazing fast 5G?
Yep.
What about their reliable nationwide coverage?
Yes, that too.
I see. Unfortunately, there's no cure. But you will have really fast 5G.
Get jaw-droppingly fast 5G for $15 a month. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket 5G requires a compatible device and is not available everywhere. Video may be limited to SD. Fees may apply. Terms and restrictions apply. Subject to change. See store for details.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years. The leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
You want another way to add excitement to watching the NBA playoffs? Jason Minix here. Let me tell you about Underdog Fantasy. It is a fan favorite way to play fantasy sports, especially playing the pick'em game, where you pick between 2 and 5 players to build your pick'em entry, and all you have to do is select higher or lower on player stats. If your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money. Endless projections to choose from. It is fantasy and it is legal in Texas. So get started by going to the easy-to-use Underdog Fantasy mobile mobile app or go to the website UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR, and Underdog will give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick of entry and a deposit offer. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call at ncpgambling.org. Again, sign up using my promo code STAR at UnderdogFantasy.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
San Antonio's Sports Star. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA draft lottery was yesterday as the Atlanta Hawks won the number 1 overall pick. The San Antonio Spurs have 2 picks in the top 10, leaving with number 4 and 8. The Indiana Pacers crushed the New York Knicks 121-89 to even up the series. Tyrese Halliburton led the way with 20. While the defending champs are back at it, they took both games in Minnesota to even the series 2-all. 115-107 was the final.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 4. There we go. Got to turn my mic on. Hour number 4 of the Morning Huddle right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Happy to be here with you. I like during the breaks, I check out the old, what do you call it? The brigade board. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, board bar.
Your brigade bar.
I think the bar scrolls and the board.
I don't know.
I mean, one of they're on the board.
But appreciate all you guys listening. There's some people who say, thanks, AJ. Some actual sports talk, refreshing instead of all the cowboy gobbling 24/7.
Marcus, you're not a Cowboy fan?
That's what Rob used to do.
That's gobble, what I do. I gobble cowboy. I gobble it up.
And then Salvador, he's on the other side of the thing, and he says, Houston, we need a refund. This guy is mid at best.
Well, Houston was. We need to call Vegas.
Yeah. I've been out of Houston for 3 years.
The only reason I bring that up is it's casino money. They got some.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a little bit. They got some of mine.
So some people loving the show. Some people think I'm mid. But you know what?
Story of life. I think you're no cap.
Thanks, man. That's what I was hoping you would say.
I don't know what that means, but I think you are.
I mean,
is that good?
Vic doesn't know. He's older, he's older than you.
Buys on like me.
Yeah.
Got his specs on like me.
That would mean that that's no lie. There's no lie detected.
See, there you go. No cap.
Thanks, man. You made my whole day right there. I got to tell you.
I'm here to help.
I got to tell you, made my whole day.
Dude.
The Phoenix Suns have a new head man. As we talked last week when they were getting rid of Frank Vogel, the expectation was that they would. Budenholzer was apparently like the name that was already being kicked around before they fired Vogel. So they do get their man on a 5-year deal. They said, hey, we know that you're having a good time sitting on the couch collecting this check from the Bucks, but we want to offer you a new check. Are you ready to get back to work? And I think he said, it's about that time. So Budenholzer gets off the couch, and he inherits the most disappointing team in the NBA from this last season. as Phoenix Suns were preseason favorites to win the NBA title and got swept out of the first round.
David Blatt wasn't in the running. They couldn't get a hold of him.
Couldn't get a hold of him. Who's the guy that God, what was his name? The guy that LeBron said, "This is my guy. This is the guy I want to coach." No, this Cleveland. And then immediately was like, after I think 1 year, and he may have won a title, and they were like, the next year they moved on from him. I don't remember what. It's LeBron, KD. These are the GM / superstar players.
If Budenholzer pulled off a mask like he was in Mission Impossible, and it was name 8 other retread coaches, just name one. You meddling kids got me again. It is the same dude. What's the point? If I am Budenholzer, all I care about is how much you guaranteeing me.
What's the guaranteed payout?
That's all I care about. I'll come coach for you for a little while. You're going to fire me in a year
because
the coach ain't the problem.
Budenholzer is kind of he set the mark for okay, this is how you know it's getting out of control. Budenholzer, he coached in Milwaukee for 5 years. He had 5 Central Division championships, 5 for 5. He was the best team in their division all 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Lost in conference finals, lost in the conference semis, won a title, lost in conference semis, lost in first round. Mind you, lost in first round, Giannis, his MVP, was injured. And then they lost in the first round. They were like, "You're fired, man. I know you didn't have Giannis, and I know you just won 58 games for us this year, but you lost in the first round."
I think it was because the team got tired of him. You don't fire a coach with 58 wins. I don't care if there was more to it than that. And it's kind of like there's more to it than that in Phoenix. It wasn't the coach's fault they went out in the first round, and it wasn't the coach's fault with Phoenix that they went out in the first round. It wasn't Vogel's fault. Now, he didn't affect him for the better, but he certainly didn't affect him to the worse. It's a ridiculous hire. It is salve. It is we're just waiting for the next. It is who do you like, Kevin?
I see. I disagree. I think to me, Budenholzer's a really good coach.
So was Vogel.
No, he's not.
Vogel got a ring too, and he managed the personalities in a echo chamber. You telling me that while the title I think will be discounted over time, although it's still a ring, he took those guys into a hotel and kept them all on the same page for a month. That is a monumental thing, what he did. And no one will ever get credit for how they managed that thing in the bubble, because that is as weird as it gets.
Here's the last 8 years of Frank Vogel. This year, lost in first round. Year before, missed playoffs. Year before, lost in first round. Year before, won the title in the bubble. I don't discount that title. I say, right. I mean, it had its own difficulties. It's a title. Or the year before in Orlando, missed playoffs. Year before in Orlando, missed playoffs. Year before in Indiana, lost in first round. Year before in Indiana, missed playoffs.
Sounds like Budenholzer to me. Missed playoffs or first round out. What's the difference?
No, there's conference championships. There's Frank Budenholzer's missed the playoffs once in his career. Once.
Well, he didn't have to go coach in Orlando, but
he was in Atlanta.
Yeah, he was in Atlanta. He's not a bad Vogel. They're both the same guy, is what I'm saying. This is an average dude that is just here to make sure this disparate personalities will just get along for 82 games. That's all. He's not there to improve them, to coach them hard, to find who we are. That's not what Budenholzer's here for. He's a placeholder. We all know it. The team knows it.
Are these Phoenix Suns going to stick together? Are they going to keep this band together? The KD, Booker, Beal band? I feel like the guy obviously the guy you'd want to move on from is Bradley Beal, but he's got the least value. He's going to be the most difficult to move.
I think they're stuck. That's why they went and got a dude. Just help them get along. Just make sure they can get along.
We may also, and boy, I hate saying this because I love the guy, but we may need just to decide that Kevin Durant is a really good player, probably not a real winner. And you can go through his career and there's one ring that he joined a team that was already a champion to get. And I think he's been to one more finals and lost. Like, at some point, don't we have to say, okay, if this guy really is one of the 5 best players of the last 20 years, shouldn't he have done more with it?
I don't know. I mean, we quantify champions. Championships matter. And he just has been in better position to get more championships than anybody than LeBron over the last 15 years. And of course, anybody who's been on Golden State, which he passed through those doors. And he just doesn't have enough. It just, for whatever reason, I blame him for some of it, but others, it was completely out of his control. That it just didn't hit. And there's been guys in every generation where you go, I don't know how to quantify this cat because he's so freaking good. But so many of his teams were so disappointing.
It's funny because, like, when you talk about LeBron and his legacy, it's all about, well, he lost this many finals and he only has this many rings. And luckily, you don't hear it very often anymore. People trying to put KD in that conversation, but KD's resume just isn't there. KD is like, he's oh boy, this is going to sound terrible, but I already started saying it, so I'll just say it anyway. KD is like upscale Carmelo Anthony.
Yes,
is what he is.
And that's not a slap. I mean, that's still upper quarter, upper 15% in the history of this league.
And
but
it's
that's
awesome.
Really is. That's all he's been. And that's sad because both those guys, for a brief moment, for about 4 years, each of them were the best offensive cheat codes in the league. Both of them were that this was the gold standard of offense.
I don't know how different KD is at this point from had Tracy McGrady had as long and healthy a career as KD, maybe we're talking about the same thing.
I think so.
Which
they feel very much alike.
I know when KD came out, that wasn't the expectation. And when early KD felt like this dude is going to be the next big thing. But we're almost at the end of him. And if he's declining and the best is behind him, then boy, we didn't get as much out of it as we thought we were going to when KD came into the league, which is kind of a hard thing to say. But yeah, I think he's I don't want to say, I guess upscale Carmelo is the best way to put it. Not that
most recently, but there's so many other dudes that fall into that were just victims of their own gravity. They were too good not to let other people get good with them. They just commanded too much of the room and could never find a way to get any help.
Well, I also think, first, we can't talk about KD not getting any help.
Well, he had to go search for it. And even when he found it, it wasn't enough, or he couldn't offer enough.
Because KD's not like, KD, he has to be the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And the world has to orbit around him. The universe has to orbit around him. And when you get like what they tried in Brooklyn with him and Kyrie and James Harden, like there's just, you've got three suns in one universe. It just, you can't do it. And now I get what Phoenix was trying to do, but the future of Phoenix was Devin Booker. It was obviously Devin Booker. And I get that they're like, okay, if we can add KD to this, we can make something. I think the mistake they made was going out and get Bradley Beal and, putting him in that thing as the third guy when he's not those guys.
Well, getting Beal, losing Bridges, letting Ayton go, there's a myriad of problems that got there long before Bud was. He's going to have to deal with some of the issues that weren't his, but it's because of that 5-year deal, rock solid. He's going to get paid. He ain't going to live through this. He ain't going to make it through 5. He won't make it through 3.
Well, I mean, unless they start winning championships immediately, and I don't see that happening. I'm curious. We won't know until this season ends, but I'm curious to see when the playoffs end, because the day after the playoffs, it'll say what are the odds for the next year's champion, where the Suns fall.
They ain't going to be in the top 5. I can tell you.
You don't think so?
No.
Man, I wonder because again, on paper, they've got it. And when KD was in Brooklyn, they'd go out early. They didn't care. They'd show up the next year, and that was the one. They were one of the favorites. I bet that I'm trying to think who would be the top 5. Denver will be in there for sure. Boston,
Minnesota.
I'll bet that unless Minnesota wins the title this year, Phoenix has shorter odds than Minnesota.
You left Dallas out.
Phoenix will have shorter odds than Dallas.
I would be shocked.
I mean, and maybe I'm wrong, but people will look at they got this big three. They've got this big three. They're going to do something. Eventually it's going to happen. I just don't think KD is a champion. I mean, I don't mean it as a knock. I like KD. I like his game. It's fun. I just don't know that he can win. All right, we're gonna hit our break. We got plenty more of the show. We're running out. We got one more set of
tickets,
one more opportunities to get those wristbands to ACL. We've got the daily lines coming up in the last segment. Lots of fun and frivolity here on the Morning Huddle. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, the Spurs now know exactly what they have and what they need to do. So what are they going to do?
We know what we think they need to do, but what will they do? Those questions, now that the NBA draft lottery is behind us, we'll start asking them starting on the Blitz at 2 o'clock, plus the latest on the weekend from the NBA playoffs.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable, available where fuel additives are sold.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your number one customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our number one customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for my favorite game app. It is Prize Picks, America's #1 fantasy sports app. Heck, I'm just one of 3 million active users. They're the easiest to play. They're the most exciting way to play your daily fantasy sports. And it's unlike other apps. On Prize Picks, it's just you against the numbers. You're a fantasy player. You know when it's more. You know when it's less. Up to 100 times your money according to how you play it. $1,000 on basketball, hockey, and college basketball entries. Today is the time to play. You can turn $10 into big money quick. The biggest moments in professional basketball are happening right now, and it's no fun unless you're playing. Go to Prize Picks right now and remember the code Alamo for your first deposit match of up to $100. That's the code Alamo. Prize Picks fantasy. You're playing already. Go win. Download the Prize Picks app. Use the code Alamo, and up to $100 deposit match is coming. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we give our students credit. Credit for deciding while stuck in traffic to get a bachelor's degree. Credit for managing 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a full-time job to pursue an MBA. Students at UMGC can use prior learning or relevant experience to earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's, and graduate students can transfer up to 12 credits toward their master's. Plus, get your application fee waived through May 31st. Flexible online and hybrid classes start soon. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson for Tri-County Meat Market, your locally owned full-service meat market. Tri-County has 2 great locations, Keebner Road and Ralph Fair, stocked full of everything you need to up your grilling game. You're looking for the perfect cut of beef, they've got it, and if they don't have it, they'll cut it for you. Roast chicken, prepare foods, they've got it. The 5 for $25 is always in play. If you're a first responder, 10% off the best meat you're going to find. Tri-County Meat Market. Head over to either location, put some good meat on the grill, and thank me later.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Get ready for the ultimate pop culture experience at the Ace Superhero Comic-Con presented by Thomas J. Henry. Join us June 20th through the 23rd as we welcome Hawkeye's Jeremy Renner, Andor's Diego Luna, and many more stars. Plus, capture a free selfie and autograph with 10 of the celebrities in the free autograph zone. Indulge in our free play arcade, explore Vendor Village, and rock out to daily concerts. Don't miss out. Get your event passes now at pmxevents.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
This blew my mind. Talking during the break about Minnesota. Game 4 was last night, and Anthony Edwards took umbrage with, I guess, Jamal Murray doing some talking. He's trying to fire himself up. I don't know what it is. But if the Timberwolves win this series against the Nuggets, that would be 2 playoff wins, two series wins this season. The Timberwolves have been a franchise since 1989. And between 1989, since 1989 coming into this year, they had won a total of 2 playoff series in their history. So they could match their franchise history's playoff series wins if they win this series against the Nuggets at 2.
You brought up the Minnesota of the early mid 2000s. That was a good team.
The Flip Saunders era Minnesota Timberwolves,
but not enough. They ran into the Spurs.
They did, and it's rare that. And Flip Saunders is one of these guys. Flip Saunders from 1996 to 2004. Every year that he coached the Timberwolves, they made the playoffs. It's hard to get fired when you do that, but he did.
God rest his soul. Good coach.
Yeah,
wasn't he just wrong time?
And his last year there, they were the 1 seed. They were 58-24. They beat the Nuggets. They beat the Kings, and they lost in the conference finals to the Lakers. That was the year that Kevin Garnett was the MVP of the league. But otherwise, it was a whole bunch of first-round exits to either the Lakers or a team from Texas, whether it be the Rockets, Spurs multiple times, the Mavericks once, first-round loss to the Sonics, first-round loss to the Blazers. Just could not get over that hump. But, yeah, it just blew my mind that the Timberwolves have, with the one this year, that gives them 3 wins in their history. It's mind-blowing.
I can recall a time around here is the same thing. Lots of early exits, a couple of, conference finals here and there, but nothing.
It's funny. I can barely remember the Spurs before they were the Spurs. It's hard for me to picture them not being.
You weren't an Ice fan for the first 10 years. If you didn't follow George Gervin, there was
I'm not old enough. I when I was starting to watch the NBA, the Spurs had David Robinson, and it's like.
But remember that version of the Spurs was soft, and David was the Little Mermaid, and they couldn't get over the hump.
Yeah,
and they kept getting beat by bigger, better, stronger.
Well, they turned into something. We'll see if these
1 pick.
Well, sometimes that's all it takes. Maybe Anthony Edwards is that guy.
Spurs have 2
for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, they've got 3 now.
Yeah, that's right.
3 Rookie of the Years.
Well, no, I'm saying coming up 1 draft pick.
We got
4 picks coming up. You never know.
Yeah, well,
never know.
One of those picks. I don't know if 1 pick from this year's draft is going to turn it around, but you can always hope. The Spurs do have the 4th and the 8th pick in the upcoming. I say the upcoming. We got a ways before the draft happens, but it will happen eventually. And the Spurs, at least today, have 2 picks to spend in that draft. I don't know that they will spend them. I don't know that they should spend them, but I said this earlier. I'm going to stand by it. I think they should use them on the guys that they think have the most upside and just hope. And otherwise, I like what you don't want is to use a first round pick on a guy who will be the 8th best player on your team. That's useless to me. I would look at it like this. If you don't think that you're going to compete this coming year, which I don't think they're going to compete this year. I think they'll be improved, but I don't think they're going to be like if they are a playoff team, it's going to be like they're going to be a play-in type of team. If that's what your expectation is, draft guys who might not help you this year, and this could go to your thinking that they like Euros. Draft a guy who you think probably won't help you this year, but his long-term upside is high. And that's why I keep saying Stephon Castle. Like I think in 3 years, Stephon Castle will be the best of this bunch. Year one, he's probably going to look a lot like Anthony Edwards did year one, where he doesn't have a jump shot, and you're frustrated because this guy you drafted him 4 overall, and he's supposed to be good, and why can't he shoot? But I think he's the kind of guy who can blossom into something special. Whereas a lot of these other guys, I think are going to be they're going to be 6th man of the year candidate or that type of player. And I don't know, I'm not really interested in using a top 10 pick on that.
For the longest time, the Spurs were considered the best place to go and get developed. You can show up here if you were patient and you were willing to go up and down from Austin and play the minutes that were allotted to, and you followed the process. After 3 years, you're probably going to get an NBA deal. That's what San Antonio was known for. But these were the guys that were the second rounders that needed something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that we have established that Pop is capable or wants to take those higher end guys and take the kind of guy or put him down in Austin and go back and forth. They did that a couple of years ago with Keldon. I don't think they can do that again. I don't think you can get away with taking your first round draft pick and having him spend any time in Austin, which is something that's the way Pop always developed his guys. And you can't do that anymore.
I think you can do that if you're picking 26.
Right. Not at 8.
4 and 8.
You got to play them,
man.
Those
are players,
They got to be in the warm-ups, and they better get some minutes. If they're not, you failed.
Because they're eating up too much salary cap to not use them. Like, you've seen the Warriors have done this. The Warriors have picked guys in recent years that I've never even seen on the floor. I don't know where they are. And I get like the idea that the Spurs are one of these teams, and when they were having a bunch of success, they were drafting these Euros and kicking them down the road, but they were having success.
None of those guys ever showed up, by the way.
Building the team. Well, yeah, Luis Scola showed up one day and played for the Rockets.
Well, we couldn't buy him out. You got him.
Well, not me. They did.
Well, the Rockets got him.
Rockets
got him. But I mean, most of those draft and stash dudes over the years never showed up to San Antonio. They were placeholders. They were a dollar value, not a name.
But it's easy to pick like that when your current team is having all this success.
Every now and then you hit one. Every now and then you find one. But if you draft 9 of them, eventually somebody's going to show up.
When you're trying to build your team back up, though, you can't draft for 5 years down the road. You need to draft a guy who can help you this year, but is probably like ready to go by the year after, like is a dude by then. The problem is I just don't know how many dudes there are in this draft, unfortunately.
There's not enough teams to do that anymore. You got to be able to play now, and if not, there's somebody going to take your job.
I think so. I mean, there's still going to be guys go to the G League and stuff like that, but there's not.
Think of the G League success stories. What do you get? 3 a year, 4 a year, maybe.
The G League success stories now are guys who get drafted out of the G League.
Right, that's it.
Guys who skip college and get drafted out of the G League.
So while we look at second round draft picks and how you build a team, it's such a nominal thing to think that you're going to build a team with a second round draft pick. It's all free agents. You just don't make it.
It doesn't really happen. All right. When we come back, we're going to give away that last opportunity to win ACL tickets for today. And we're going to go over the daily lines, talk about what we can expect to see on the floor tonight. It is the Morning Huddle. I'm AJ Hoffman. He's Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Feel that heat? That's how it should feel when you're outdoors watching your favorite team coming up to bat, not in your home. Call Maverick Windows at 800-972-3631. That's 800-972-3631 and get a free quote for new energy-efficient windows.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you with professional-grade industrial supplies. Count on real-time product availability and fast delivery. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Robert Half research indicates 9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. If you have open roles, chances are you're feeling this too. That's why you need Robert Half. Our specialized recruiting professionals engage with our proprietary AI to connect businesses of all sizes with highly skilled talent in finance and accounting, technology, marketing and creative, legal, and administrative and customer support. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
Need assistance with door and window projects? The Home Depot can help. From inspiration and materials to ordering and installation, our free Millwork virtual apron service can get you moving and doing. Plus, we speak Spanish too. Our associates can help you tackle complex jobs without you leaving the job site, saving you time and money. Call us at 1-833-HD-APRON or visit homedepot.com/MVA. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, former orthopedic surgeon, now national medical director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Scheinkup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. 210-571-0318.
Let's go! Hi, it's Jason Minix. You're listening to the home of the Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
All right, wrapping it up here on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star. Another rousing edition of the Morning Huddle.
We got work to do, man.
What work do we have to do?
Opportunities to offer.
Oh.
Let's day is just beginning.
I mean, yeah, we're just getting started, baby. Just getting started. Let's see. How do we want to give away this last opportunity to win ACL tickets? San Antonio Sports Star has your 3-day wristbands to ACL week 2. It's October 11th through the 13th. Listen to our program here, 7:30, 8:30, and 9:30 all week this week and next week to get qualified. Or you can listen to the Blitz. I would say also listen to the Blitz, 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, and 5:30. Get 2 3-day wristbands for week 2. One winner from each show is going to be chosen at random at the end of the week. And they're going to win a pair of 3-day weekend wristbands.
I'm psyched.
And if you don't win them, you can always buy your wristbands.
That's the only way I'm going to be able to go.
At aclfest.com. All right. This one is going to be pretty easy. And I'm giving you the heads up that you're going to be able to use the Google on this. This is going to be who is the fastest Googler. The question is, what is Tyler, the Creator? His first name is actually Tyler. Creator is not his last name, though. I want to know his real last name. Tyler, the Creator's last name. First one to call and give that information. You, sir, are registered to win. It's as simple as that, friends. Can I make it easier on him? Like I just told him, just Google it and get there, right?
He's from Hawthorne, California, if you're curious.
That's true.
33.
That is true also.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not the
that's
not the question.
The answer, and it's not the question.
So yeah, get yourself on that phone. Get yourself a chance to win these tickets. 656-3776. I almost said 636. I don't know why. 636.
Someone would be upset with you.
I know. I got to practice that. I'm still not a pro when it comes to that. This is my first week in radio.
And you've done remarkably well for padding the resume.
For a rookie.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Not bad for a rookie, I would say. All right, let's do what we've been doing.
We've been successful. I'm not saying we. I'm riding the coattails. Before
Rob,
we get started,
we are a team. Friend.
Can we gamble on a fight? Is there a way we could pick number of teeth lost? Number of seconds before first punch?
No, usually not that. But you can bet like over under rounds.
Okay.
You can bet if the fight will end by knockout or not. But by submission,
But nothing in hockey that would give me a number.
No,
what's going to go down soon.
No, you know what you can do though, and this is something that you'd probably like if you do prize picks or stuff like that.
I am a prize pick fan.
I would look at penalty minutes.
There we go.
Because fights equal penalty minutes, don't they? So if you think that there's going to be a player involved in a fight, usually you say, "Oh, well, I like that guy over his penalty minutes number," and you can get yourself a little way to attack it. Did we get a winner for that?
Not yet.
What?
I
can't make it easier for you. I can't make it easier for you.
You can be in your car and talk to your car too, if you're afraid to type. If you don't know this, because I didn't know.
I mean, unless you're driving like an old beater and like.
This morning about
I don't know. He's got a weird last name. I think people are scared to say it.
So it's an interesting one. And that's why I would have gone with the Creator as well. This morning on the way in, man, I always wondered about people that buy really expensive cars and like, when are you really going to open this sucker up? And I always felt like as I've been driving in early in the morning, I thought, you know what, if I had a car, this is one. So I'm coming down I-10.
By the way, someone was parked really close to your Ferrari. I don't know if they're going to ding it or not.
I know, man. That's the beater. I'm coming down I-10 about 3:45 this morning, and a car blew by me. I'm not kidding. Doing 200 miles an hour,
like where you can
I'm doing 75. It's not like I'm coasting, and it was. I've never been on a road.
You hear that?
That's what it was. I've never been on a road where somebody passed me going that fast.
Yeah, sometimes it sounds like a motorcycle, but then you're like, well, that's a car.
Just blew by me. I think it was a Hellcat. I couldn't quite make it out, but literally it's the fastest car I've ever seen on a road.
Wow. We got a winner?
Eloy Solis.
Eloy!
All right, Eloy.
Congrats.
Hell yeah, Bubba. All right, so we got 3 guys in, 3 guys registered. Look at that.
Let's help people make some money.
Those guys have a 1 in 15 chance of winning tickets to ACL Fest. All right, let's get into the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's touch on the hockey real quick since we won't spend much time on it. The New York Rangers are minus 108 favorites. I saw Carolina got a game back in that series. I don't know. Are they at 2-1 or 3-1? I'm not totally sure in that one.
Which one are we looking at?
Carolina and the Rangers.
Scroll hockey on my board is way down there. I have to go down.
Oh yeah,
I'm learning. I need to bring it up.
It's funny because when you go by rotation number, like when you go to the sports book in Vegas, the hockeys are always like single digits.
Really?
So the rotation number on Carolina and New York is 1 versus 2, and then when you get into like the Pacers Knicks on Tuesday is 517 versus 518. So the hockey's always really easy to find. But either way, the Rangers are a minus 108 favorite. Total is sitting at 5.5. And then Dallas and Colorado. Colorado minus 136 favorites hosting Dallas. And the total is 6.5. And I always say 3 + 3 = 7. Boy, the way Colorado puts goals up, I would not want to be on the under there. So I don't think I'm going to have a play on tonight's game. But if I were forced into a hockey play, I think it'd be the over in that Dallas-Colorado series again.
Yeah, 1.5 is what I'm saying for the spread. Like that?
Yeah, there's always – so the puck line is always minus 1.5. And if it's a giant favorite, it'll make it a palatable favorite. But usually in playoff games, usually the minus 1.5 flips who you get the juice on.
Gotcha.
So like if
I see now.
The Rangers are minus 108 on the money line, on the puck line, if they win by minus 1.5, they win by 2 goals, you're getting like good plus money on them. So yeah, I don't like the puck line. I'm scared of that, especially in the playoffs. It's almost always like a close game, and is there going to be an empty netter or not? All right, let's look at these basketball games tonight. The Boston Celtics, 8-point favorites on the road.
Can we give some love to Jason Tatum just for a second?
You can.
Because did you see him on Saturday?
No.
He was beast mode. That was Tatum. That was MVP discussion Tatum. He dominated the game. Dominated.
Will he do it again?
That's canny.
Because Donovan Mitchell, we've seen him do that in this series. So who does it next? Porzingis, we know, is still out. Donovan Mitchell, they're listed as a game time decision. Jared Allen listed as a game time decision. I assume they're both going to play, though. I don't know, man. I don't think the Cavs are very good. They showed a little fight, which I think was nice in game 2. I mean, if they walk out of Cleveland tied at 2, I don't know that they could have asked for better than that, right?
Right. I like everything about Boston tonight. I mean, everything about Cleveland tonight.
Do you?
I do, because Luke Cornett's a game time decision. So that's that. Not only do they have number 1 big hurt, they got number 2 big hurt, and they're going to run around with Al Horford. I think Cleveland at home.
Right.
Cleveland at home. It just tells me that they feel like they ain't coming back. Well, so we better win tonight.
More than Cleveland at home is Boston on the road, where that's the only place they seem to be vulnerable,
right.
Really. Yeah, I think you're probably right. In the other series, the Mavs are up 2-1 on the Thunder. The Thunder now a 1-point dog on the road. The Mavericks opened as 2.5-point favorites. They're now down to 1-point favorites. So money coming in on the Thunder. You agree with that? You think the Thunder, you think they even it up here?
I think this is, I mean, the world isn't over if they lose tonight.
I agree.
But I do think that this is one of those moments where I think they're going to have to seize it, especially given, I don't know how bad Luka is as far as injuries. I can tell you that this guy looks like he's barely able to move.
He's hurting.
So you're not going to get too
a lot of it came from that belly flop he had the other day.
Face plant. So I like Oklahoma on this. I do. I like the Thunder. They're going to cover. They're going to be in it. I like that. Nobody going to win by much. And I'm not even sure Luka, if it gets scary, if they get behind early, might do a little profit taking, get this guy some time, and hope Kyrie can carry him.
Do what the Knicks did last week and said, or last night, and said
43. We don't care.
Get him out of there. Get Brunson off the floor.
We'll take a break. So that wouldn't shock me. I like Oklahoma on this. A lot of them.
I'm with you on that. OKC will probably be on my card for tonight. If you can find a way to legally risk your finances, and always bet responsibly. Never bet more than you can afford to lose. On the diamond, Spencer Arrighetti.
Dude, he had a hell of a start, but where is he now?
Arrighetti.
We thought it was going to be so much fun.
Yeah, he goes for the Astros this evening against Ross Stripling of the A's. The Astros are minus 174 favorites. Total is at 8.5. Boy, it's hard to want to trust the Astros as big favorites. I don't really care who they're playing, to be quite honest. I don't feel comfortable with it right now. And then up in Arlington, Michael Lorenzen, minus 105 favorite against Tanner Bibby and the Cleveland Guardians. The total in that one is set at 9. This one actually opened Texas minus 120. So for them to be at minus 105 now says there's some money coming down on the Guardians, who are a bit of a surprise team, I guess. Elsewhere, I'm
not touching either one of those. This Arrighetti guy scares the fool out of me.
I'm kind of with you on that. Elsewhere, interesting matchup period with the Cubs and the Braves. Ronaldo Lopez has been a breath of fresh air for the Braves. He's a minus 142 favorite hosting the Cubs with Shota Imanaga, who we talked about last week, has just been a dog. Gave up 2 earned runs, I believe, last week, which was the most he's given up in his career since he's been a big leaguer. And the guy's got something. Lefty. Total in this game is down to 7.5. It opened at 8. If only I got up early and checked the lines like I used to. That was like the first thing I did when I woke up was check numbers and put in bets. But I would have liked to bet under 8 on that game. But now it's 7.5. It doesn't give me a whole lot of wiggle room. So that's probably going to be just a pass for your boy. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Easy for you to say.
Minus 185 on the road at San Francisco. Jordan Hicks is going for the Giants. He who used to be a pretty subpar 8th inning guy for the Cardinals is suddenly like just a beast as a closer or as a starter. So kind of, I mean, not usually the way it goes. Usually these guys are starters and they go close. This is a kind of the opposite. They're like, we got to take advantage of that arm somehow. He stinks in the 8th and 9th inning. Let's see if we can get anything out of it. They have maybe a live dog there with San Francisco. So lots of action to be had. We had some winners last week, like I said, including my boy Derrick Lewis getting the job done by knockout over a cab driver, as he said, for UFC St. Louis.
We're here to help, right? I'm talking about Prize Picks right now. They've got a gig going on. If you pick anything Caitlin does tomorrow night, you're going to get half a point. Basically, pick them, and you can just go ahead and throw that in with your more or less one of your 3, and it's easy money. Just go play Prize Picks. They're playing tomorrow night at the WNBA. It'll be the only numbers you're going to play with the WNBA all year, I imagine. So might as well go win some.
Is that a regular season WNBA game?
They're starting tomorrow night. And so the Prize Picks got this gig, half a point. You can pick the more. It's free money.
Okay,
go get it.
What if you pick the under?
Oh, that would be dumb.
But I mean, there'd have to be a huge payout, right?
If she comes in at less than a point, if she comes in with DNP or
I imagine her first jumper, she rolls her ankle.
I think by the third quarter, they're going to allow a little bit of Boston Bruin cross-check action right at the rim. If she
remember DNP, if she doesn't play, then there's no action.
It's a scratch.
Yeah, she's got to get on the floor. So you want her out there, hopefully put something on the stat sheet, but not a point.
I used to go out with these guys.
Maybe I'll just take the easy point.
Yeah, take the easy point. I used to go out with these guys that would go hunting, and the first day, you're like, did you see it? Oh, yeah, I saw it. I pulled the trigger. Did you shoot it? No. Next day, like, did you? Because they're out there to find something specific. Next day, did you see it? Yeah, I shot it twice and missed. Third day, we're just tying it to a tree.
Yeah.
Just it's right there. Just shoot it. And Caitlin Clark, by third quarter, they're going to tie it to a tree. She's going to get a layup.
I could see that. Who are they playing? What's her team called? Is her team called the Fever?
The Fevers.
Okay. I want to know who they're playing. Are they playing the Aces? Because the Aces are good.
I'm told I'm supposed to be excited.
You're wanting to bet on her points, and you don't even know who she's playing.
It doesn't matter. It's half a point. I'm told I'm supposed to be excited about this.
Are you?
Well, I got half a point.
Are you going to watch?
I got half a point. There's reason to dial in for that.
I think you're not going to watch.
I read a tweet this weekend that I did not believe either. I wish I could find it. I was at a gym today, and I saw a 6th grade boy do a crossover and scream, Caitlin Clark. And I said, lies.
That is a lie.
Lies.
That is a lie. Like, that's one of those things like, somebody walked, there was a man wearing a wig walked into the bathroom at Target where my daughter was using the restroom.
No, you're lying.
No, you didn't.
You're lying.
Like, you wanted that to happen so you could complain about it, but that didn't happen. No one yelled Caitlin when they shot their jumper. No. I assure you.
Caitlin.
So when you go to make a layup, that's what you share is just
Caitlin. Oh, dude, that never happened. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to demean.
It's fun. Going back to that Mavericks game tonight, boy, we talked about could PJ Washington match what he did in game 2? He freaking did.
That might be one of the bigger surprises of the playoffs.
I mean, this dude is on fire right now. 27 points. 5 3-pointers to get them that lead. Like, they found another source of offense. The Celtics feel like, man, if I'm with you, I like Cleveland tonight catching 8 points. I don't know if I like them enough to think that they're going to win.
No.
Because unlike Dallas, Cleveland, it's hard for them to find offense outside of Donovan Mitchell. Isaac Okoro was good in game 1, but I don't know. I don't know who your guy is after Mitchell, and that's going to be a problem long term. The Mavericks, though, I'm nervous. Even with Luka limping around, they might be onto something here because
they have Kyrie, and Kyrie did his job over the weekend. So if I'm Kid, I'm going to expand his role. I'm going to give him some more because what he did great. And I got a guy that's got to get some time. That's got to rest. I got to ice him and do whatever I can. So the more Kyrie tonight, the better.
But because they are getting more from guys like PJ Washington, they're alive. Luka and Kyrie, 40.3 points per game so far this series. That is almost 20 points less than they average in the regular season. So you'd think, well, they're screwed, right? No, because PJ Washington's been out of this world. And obviously Luka sprained knee, sprained ankle, Lou Dort in his business all the damn time. Things are going to be hard for him. They're still making it happen though. But this, if they can keep getting 28 points a game out of PJ Washington, I think they're going to be okay. I'm interested in this. I'm interested in this game tonight. Like, I really think that this is a must-win game for the Thunder. You can't fall down 3-1. So you got a young team down 3-1. I could see them folding up their tents.
If they went down, would you be mad at them?
No,
I'm not mad. I would if this ended right now. If they didn't get past Dallas, I don't think if I was a fan, and I'm not, but I appreciate good basketball, I wouldn't be mad at them. They've taken this thing and they squeezed a lot of juice out of this thing so far.
But they are the 1 seed.
I know, but they fell ass backwards into this. They're really a 3 seed as by talent and by skill set and all that. But they're a 1 seed, and congratulations. But I don't think anybody's upset. I'm not saying it's over, but it feels like this is a gut check game for them tonight. You're really Shay's gonna have to separate and become that guy we've been talking about.
I think there are some guys because the Mavs, what they do on defense is they're trying to take away the basically SGA and Jalen Williams getting to the basket. And in game 1, you saw guys hit open shots. Isaiah Joe was hitting open shots. Aaron Wiggins was hitting open shots. The Mavericks are daring other guys to beat them. In the last couple games, those guys have all stunk. So one of those guys, whether it be Cason Wallace or Aaron Wiggins, somebody has to be better shooting the ball from outside because they're going to keep getting looks. Like, this is what the Mavericks, they've said, we're going to clog up the paint, make it tough for SGA to drive in, make them kick the ball out, and make somebody else beat us. So that worked in game one. Just got to do it again.
A lot of credit to Jason Kidd, too. He is growing as a coach.
I think you're right. And it's funny. I'm normally not one to give him a whole lot of credit.
Me either.
But this has been a pretty good coaching job. I mean, granted, he's got really good players.
And what did Pop say about how do you become a Hall of Fame coach? You draft Tim Duncan and hold on. I mean, yeah, obviously players win it, but I don't think that given the way that the Dallas is playing is not Kidd's idea of, I think he would have believed how he would have wanted them to play. You know what I mean? He's had to adapt and allow Luka to do some things that just probably drives him crazy as a point guard. Dribble the clock out. Just dribble. And it's working.
But there is something too, I think. This is the best Luka's ever been.
Right.
Like we've been talking for 3 years now about Luka becoming the next best player in the NBA. Like he's about to become that dude. And this is the first year where I've really felt like, okay, now I believe it. I could see him really taking that next step because like he came into the season in shape. He's just developing as a player. And at some point you got to give credit where it's due. And maybe that's warranted by Jason Kidd because he's got Luka playing at a level that he just wasn't playing at before. I think a lot of it was he was just fat before and he was just lazy. I think he figured out like, okay, if I got to start taking this seriously, it's my job now. I need to start being a little more serious.
Next step, work on balance. Try to remain upright during a basketball game.
I think people who have problems with that are fat guys who are not as fat as they used to be. Sometimes your body, you just think you
have a higher center of gravity.
Yeah.
It's like a tree just going down. Once it starts
you
moving,
over, man.
You can't stop it.
No one wants that. You hear that music, Rob? You know what that means?
I feel like Fred Flintstone.
Another day in the books. Another huddle in the books. A lot of fun this morning. We'll have more fun on Tuesday. That's what we're gonna try to have fun every day. We're gonna try to inform. We're living our best life here, Rob. Stay tuned for the Blitz. Have more chances to win those ACL tickets. It's 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride